Back at beautiful Tempe Diablo Stadium, and the Angels are expected to surpass the 90,000 fan mark here today in this beautiful afternoon here in the Valley of the Sun. Welcome back to the broadcast on the Angels Baseball Network and on Fox Sports West. Well, for the Kansas City Royals, as they are exchanging their lineups, Mike Scioscia taking a quick look out there to home plate. Alfredo Griffin and Chino Catahia, bench coaches for the respective ball clubs. For Kansas City, playing good baseball here in the spring. They have a terrific mark, 18 wins and 6 losses. And their manager, Nate Yost, quite proud of what he's seeing. He's got Alex Gordon leading off. Gordon, Gold Glover in left field. Batting second, very solid at shortstop, Alcides Escobar. Batting third, Billy Butler, Silver Slugger last year. Butler batting third. Mike Moustakas, Southern California product, very solid with the glove. Moustakas is batting fourth. Salvador Perez is a catcher, very solid behind the plate himself too. Can really catch and throw. Perez is the catcher, batting fifth. Batting sixth, Eric Hosmer, the first baseman, on a bounce-back year for Hosmer. He represented the U.S. and WBC. Lorenzo Cain is in center field. He had a terrific spring last year, showed a lot of power, but it did not translate into power during the season. Jeff Francoeur, one of the best arms in baseball, is in right field, batting eighth, and batting ninth, solid at second base, a very fast runner, and a guy that loves to hit against the Angels. That's Chris Getz. The Angels starting lineup is brought to you by McDonald's. You can discover a different side of McDonald's with the new hot and spicy McChicken sandwich. Tender, crispy, and spicy in every bite. There's more unexpected tastes to love at McDonald's. Mike Trout leads off for the Angels in center field. He'll be followed by Eric Aybar, already anointed with a number 2 spot. According to Mike Scioscia this morning, he'll be hitting second to begin the season. Aybar at short. Albert Pujols hit a long home run yesterday. He'll be de-aging, batting fourth, Josh Hamilton. In right, also homered. Mark Trumbo, looking for first one this spring, is at first base, batting fifth. Howie Kendrick continues to be hot. He is batting sixth at second base. Alberto Callaspo batting seventh at third. Vernon Wells got 4 homers himself here this spring. Wells is in left field, batting eighth. And the Angels catcher Chris Iannetta will be batting ninth. And again, once to announce the news, the Angels recently announced that Bill Hall, the veteran infielder, has been given his unconditional release in spring training. 4 RBIs, 3 doubles, only played 4 games in 11 seasons in the big leagues. Obviously, Hall, very productive for the Brewers, but it's been a struggle for him to stay healthy here lately, Terry.
All right, Jose, we are getting closer to the start of today's game. A sellout crowd here in Tempe, and we're expecting more of the same the rest of the weekend. The Angels will be here for a split squad game against Milwaukee tomorrow afternoon, and then take on the world champion Giants here Sunday in Tempe as well. Tickets figure to be hard to come by this weekend here in the Valley for Angel Cactus League home games. The umpires for today's matchup, calling balls and strikes, will be Kerwin Danley. We'll have Ted Barrett, Mike Everett, and Jim Reynolds on the bases. Dimensions here in Tempe, it's 340 down the left field side, 420, quite a poke out there to dead center, and 359 down in the right field corner. Power alleys here in Tempe go 400 feet. Defensively for the Angels at first base, Mark Trumbo. The second baseman is Howie Kendrick. At third base, Alberto Callaspo. And at shortstop, Eric Aybar. In the outfield today, the left fielder is Vernon Wells. Center fielder is Mike Trout. The right fielder is Josh Hamilton. Chris Iannetta is behind the plate. Albert Pujols will be DHing. And on the mound, 32-year-old left-hander C.J. Wilson, as he gets ready to make his 4th start for the Angels this spring. He has a 2-0 record in the Cactus League in 10 innings and an ERA of 3.60. So we are just about set for baseball. Alex Gordon, a left-handed batter. They have quite a few in their lineup against CJ. Here's the first pitch, and that's in there. A first pitch fastball called strike. We're underway in the count, 0-1. 75 degrees as we get things started here on this beautiful Friday afternoon. And the pitch, and that one is low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count.
That's a pretty good spot to miss right there for C.J. Wilson. Seems like he does have a little pop bringing it from the bullpen.
Angels have on the red tops, white pants. Royals have on the blue tops and the gray pants. Here's the next delivery, and that one low and away, ball 2. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Escobar and Butler will follow. Alex Gordon is having a very good spring for Kansas City. 22 hits, 3 homers. He's driven in 10 for them. He's hitting over 450 as he fouls that one back to the screen. And it's 2-2. No breeze to speak of as we get the game underway. And again, very pleasant weather, 75 degrees at game time. Here's the 2-2 pitch, fouled back behind the plate, and we'll do it again with the count holding at 2-2.
Alex Gordon has made himself a very fine hitter. Came up with a lot of expectations, condemned his swing, is able to fight in against lefties just like this, and he is an on-base machine.
He was a doubles machine for them last year, 51 doubles as he takes that one low. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Those 51 doubles led the American League last year. So it's a full count. We'll see what happens on the 3-2. Wilson getting adjusted out there on the pitching rubber. He's ready, and here comes the payoff pitch. Again fouled off, so Gordon is really battling CJ. He's making him throw some extra pitches here in this matchup. CJ Wilson, 34 starts for the Angels last season. He had 34 the year before. He's made the most starts of any pitcher in the majors the last 2 years, as that one is fouled off down the left side, backing out of play. So the battle continues here. Wilson and Gordon.
CJ can only smile. A little sarcastic grin out there. A little off speed here and there. If you can trust it, would be ideal after he's got you timed like this.
The 3-2 once again, and fouled off once again. Gordon is a guy who will strike out a lot. 140 times last year. Almost 280 times the last 2 years, but he's been a good 2-strike hitter here in this at-bat against Wilson, staying alive. And again, the 3-2 delivery, once again fouled off.
CJ's tried everything. He's even tried looking everywhere after every one of these foul balls. That was pitch number 10 already.
So double digits in pitching here. Pitches thrown by CJ to the first batter of the game. The 3-2 once again, and he took a little something off that one. Chased a high one. That would have been ball 4, and after all that, he gets Gordon, struck him out.
Go figure. Little BP fastball sometimes is your best friend after somebody has you timed the way Gordon had it. Good job of pitching.
So here's Escobar. Their shortstop had a nice year last season. Hit for average, stole bases. Right-handed batter. Here's the first pitch, and that one is in there on him for a called strike.
Alcides has become very dependable hitter himself, so more than all-around threats. Base running, defense, and with a bat.
And the next pitch, he chops that one foul, so he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. He was a durable player for them last year. He missed only 7 games. He's been bothered by some lower back spasms here in spring training, but back in their lineup for today's ball game. And the 0-2. That's a fastball. It rides up and in. It misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The main area of improvement for Escobar, going back to last year, was from the hole. He could really set and throw with the best in that 6-hole.
1-2 pitch. Another fastball a little bit high inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Billy Butler waiting on deck. Here's the next pitch. It's grounded sharply in the hole. Long throw for Ibar to first base late, and that'll be an infield hit. Boy, Eric did a good job just to make it fairly close over there at first base. And Escobar is on with a 1-out single.
The one fine shortstop will test out the other immediately. Ibar knew that was so much more momentum going to his right. If he had planted and thrown, still not going to be a chance to throw him out. So why not take a chance and loop it out there?
So here's Billy Butler. Butler had another 300 season last year for Kansas City. And he is a career 300 hitter right on the nose. Hit .313 last year. He missed only 1 game last season, and the pitch. He takes that one for a called strike.
It seems like Billy Butler loves hitting Angels pitching. And it seems like Billy Butler hits Angels pitching at the most opportune times during the season.
Former first-round pick of the Royals. That was back in 2004. Here's the next delivery, and that one from CJ a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Billy Butler.
If you watch Billy Butler and why he is able to produce the numbers he does year after year, not a whole lot to his mechanics. I mean, quite simple, but very short, compact, powerful swing. But the main thing for him is his load up. Comes back nicely and stays slow to the ball.
There's a pitch that's high and away to him. 2-1 to count. Billy Butler's nickname is Country Breakfast.
What?
That's his nickname, Jose.
Gotta love that. That fits well in Kansas City. There's some good hearty breakfast areas there.
Yeah, Billy Butler's kind of a thick-bodied guy. Very good player. Pitch on its way, and that's a called strike on the outside corner. I guess he's had some biscuits and gravy over the years. What do you think?
Just look at him.
2-2 the count on Butler.
I don't care what he eats. He can hit. And he can play. As you mentioned, he plays every day.
Yep. Pretty much an everyday DH, but in that lineup every day. Here's the next pitch. He hits that one hard, foul over on the third base side. So it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Butler might have cracked his bat on that one.
Something for sure I'd like to see CJ incorporate into this outing where he will be approaching 85 to 90 pitches. Fastball has a zip. The last time out there on the mound, he gave up a lot of fly balls. The ball was tailing well, especially to the middle out. Not that many cutters, but the off speed to me is going to be a key pitch to him here today to get him on the right frame of mind and release point set to begin the season.
Butler's a guy who, if he hits it on the ground, a chance to double him up, get out of this inning. 1 out, 1 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Billy Butler. And here's the next pitch. And boy, he was way late on the swing on that one. Struck him out, and that's out number 2. Boy, that ball was just about in Ionetta's glove when Butler started his swing.
C.J. Wilson did something a little different there with the look he gave Escobar to first base. And that might have thrown off Butler just a tad. Good job mixing it in there by C.J. Wilson. A little higher leg kick and a slight turn.
So C.J. with a pair of strikeouts. 2 are gone. Here's Moustakas at the plate, and the left-handed batter takes that one for a strike. Moustakas is having a big spring for Kansas City, hitting over 450. He's had 23 hits, 4 of them home runs. He was a 20-homer guy last year for the Royals, although he hit just 242 last year.
I think he's on the verge. The big breakout year. And for Moustakas, Terry, it hasn't come very easily. I mean, he's gone through a lot of downtime and making adjustments and playing in the big leagues. But he's hung in there because he doesn't shy away from the challenge.
He's had a history of struggling against left-handed pitchers. We'll see how it plays out here with the lefty Wilson's next delivery. And he comes inside with a fastball, and he misses it, does Moustakas. 1-2.
That's a little extra zip C.J. Wilson's been having here in the last couple of outings. Pitching upstairs.
Moustakas, first-round pick of the Royals. That was back in 2007. He's from Southern California. He went to Chatsworth High School. Next pitch, that's high. It pops off the glove of Ionetta. And just kind of cruising up to second base on that one will be Escobar. See how that one ends up being scored. Ionetta got a lot of glove on that, although the pitch was high and outside.
I will go past ball. That ball has to be caught by a big league catcher.
And that will be the scoring on it. Ionetta and Wilson might have got crossed up. Chris went out there to have a word with C.J. Wilson. So 2-2 on Moustakas.
There's that little extra I've been talking about. He does have it right now. There's a nice and easy whipping of the arm that C.J.'s exhibiting right now, too.
Salvador Perez, their young catcher, waiting on deck. No score, top of the first. Wilson's made a lot of pitches here in the first inning. And the 2-2, he misses low and away, so it's a full count on Mike Moustakas. 27 pitches thrown by C.J. Wilson here in this first inning. And, of course, he had double figures against the leadoff man, Gordon, before he eventually struck him out.
And yes, every pitch counts, especially here in spring training, since you are on a pitch count.
3-2 delivery. Lined into right field. Hamilton is chasing. He's not going to get to it. This is going to drive in the runner. Moustakas is headed for second base, and he will cruise in there with a 2-out RBI double. It's 1-0 Royals. So Moustakas stays hot, and he gets that double against a left-hander. And here's Salvador Perez.
It's always important to me when I see a guy like Alex Gordon go out there and battle for 11 pitches. He strikes out, but what he did for a guy like Moustakas is only build his confidence as a left-handed facing a lefty as to how they might work him, and also to see how CJ was setting up the pattern on pitching to the lefty. That's a good job of hitting.
Here's the pitch on Perez, right in there for a called strike.
He needs that pitch early and late in the count, that breaking ball.
Outfield is straight away, infield back with 2 outs. Wilson's 0-1, lifted foul right side, so he jumps in front. It's no balls and 2 strikes on Salvador Perez.
He's another player that came up with the reputation of being a great glove, but he has made himself a pretty darn good hitter. And he's happy to be healthy to begin the season.
Yeah, last year he suffered a left knee injury, had surgery on that knee last March, and he fouls that one back behind the plate. That cost him a lot of playing time. He didn't join the Royals until the 3rd week in June, and ended up playing 76 games for them last season. He hit .301. Perez is very solid behind the plate throughout over 40% of would-be base stealers. He is a guy who picks off a lot of runners as well. Wilson looks at second and now delivers the 0-2. Bounce deep in the hole. It's short. Fielded there by Ibar. Perez is not a fast runner, and he's an easy out. That will end the inning, but it took 32 pitches for C.J. Wilson to get through the first. The Royals got a run. They had 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1. Half inning in the books. Kansas City 1. Angels coming to bat on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels baseball. Terry Smith, Jose Moten, our producer-engineer Darren Chan with you today on the Angels Baseball Network, Fox Sports West, and the MLB Network. So here is Mike Trout getting ready to lead things off against the right-hander James Shields, who came over to the Royals from Tampa Bay during the offseason. Here's the first pitch on Trout, and that's a little bit low for a ball. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. Mike is hitting over 360 this spring. Been scoring a lot of runs, getting on base, not only with hits, but he's also been walking a lot. On base percentage has been terrific.
He's had already a pretty rounded spring training overall.
And the 1-0 pitch, that's low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Also, Mike has shown the ability to adjust very well from center to left field. That's going to happen often during this upcoming season with Peter Borges commanding center field.
Here's the 2-0. And Trout goes after that one, fouls it back to our right, backing out of play. James Shields, the starting pitcher for Kansas City. He went to Hart High School. He now lives in San Diego. He's usually around the plate. The 2-1 pitch. That one is low, and Trout has worked the 3-1 count against Shields.
I've seen a Shields that does not give in, and you can expect any pitch, any count. And to me, one of the top pitchers in the game today.
Here's the 3-1. Drilled into center field. Kane is going back, still going back. The ball's over his head, and the ball smacks off the center field wall. And Trout is at second base with a leadoff double. Mike Trout just keeps on keeping on here in the Cactus League. He's in scoring position. Seems like every time he gets up to the plate, he gets in scoring position.
Once again, Mike Trout worked himself a good hitter's count. And Shields obviously would like to get that pitch back and maybe get it a little bit lower. But boy, he struck that one quite hard. 2 hands finish.
So here's Eric Ibar hitting out of the 2-hole, and that's where he will be hitting when the season begins.
Keep your eye on Hosmer, and Moustakas communicating right now. Any hard hit ball to Hosmer, he is not going to automatically give that base to Trout.
Here's the first one on Eric. He was around the bunt, and he takes that pitch a little bit low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. The Kansas City Royals last year finished in 3rd place in the AL Central. They ended up 18 games under 500. They were 72-90. They've had 9 straight losing seasons. Here's the pitch. There's a bunt, and it's fouled off on the third base side. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, as Mike Scioscia announced earlier today that Eric Ibar is slated to begin the season as a number 2 hitter. This could be a template of what the Angels would like to see more of early in the game. Of course, Trout getting on and Ibar moving him over. Ibar, one of the best bunters in baseball, especially when it comes out to bunting for base hits.
Shields looking in for the sign, taking a little extra time, and that gets Ibar to back out of the batter's box. Albert Pujols waiting on deck. Pickoff toss by Shields to second. Trout diving back to the bag safely. James Shields has been a real workhorse since coming up to the big leagues. At least 200 innings each of the last 6 seasons. And last year he was tied for 4th in the majors with 227 2/3 innings of work. Here's the pitch. That one is high. And the count 2 balls, 1 strike.
And pretty much throughout the whole season he had to hear the rumors. He's going to get traded. He's going to go somewhere until one day his manager, one of the most respected men in baseball, Joe Madden, said, James Shields is not on the trading block. Rumors, go away.
So it's 2-1 on Ibar. He's already around the bunt. Here comes the pitch, and that ball is bunted foul on the third base side. He popped it up a little bit. It was out of the reach of the catcher Perez, and Shields came hustling off the mound. So Eric's tried a couple of times to drop one down, fouling them off. 2-2 the count.
This at bat pretty much is, given the appearance of Mike Scioscia, is putting the bunt on for a reason, just to work on it with Ibar here. And he's tried hard to get it down the third base side to get Moustakas in and away from the play involvement at third base.
Ibar is a good bunter. He just hasn't been able to drop one fair here in this matchup against Shields. The count's even, 2-2. Here's the next pitch, and Eric takes that one a little bit low and in. Full count. Fans, subscribe to MLB.TV Premium today. Watch over 150 select spring training games live, plus every regular season game live or on demand on over 250 mobile and connected devices. Visit Angels.com for details. The 3-2 payoff pitch way outside, and Eric ends up getting a walk. First two Angels reaching base safely against Shields. That's the first walk that Shields has issued this spring, and the batter will be Albert Pujols.
Well, how about that for that bat, Terry? One thing failed, and Ibar was able to work it into a walk. Give it a plus.
So here's Albert. Had a home run in the game against Texas last night. The Angels' number 3 hitter. The power of the lineup brought to you by Loan Mart. Need cash fast? If you have a car that's paid off or almost paid off, get $2,500 to $50,000 today with a quick and easy car title loan. Call 1-800-LOAN-MART today. The pitch up and in on Pujols, and that is ball one. Angels down 1-0 here, bottom of the first, but threatening. Shields ready. Here's the next pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner. Shields will throw a fastball, top out around 94. Slider will throw a cut fastball. He has a good curveball and an excellent changeup, one of the best in the game. Right-handers 1-1. Pujols fouls it back behind the plate. 1-2 is the count.
Albert with a higher elbow. His back elbow is a little bit higher. He's trying to get away from wrapping around the baseball. Clearly you can see it there, where that knob will lead right into the inside part of the baseball. A great follow there.
Center fielder Lorenzo Cain is not playing deep at all. And a 1-2 pitch. Low and in, a fastball misses. 2-2.
Well, Shields showing that the changeup obviously is more effective when he does exactly that against a guy like Pujols. Got to keep him honest off the plate inside with that fastball.
Right-hander ready. A look at second. 2-2 pitch. And Albert was fooled on that one. Did he go around? Yes, he did. He's unaware he's been called out on strikes. Now he finds out from the home plate umpire, Kerwin Danley. That's the first out.
A couple of fastballs inside will do exactly that. So good job of pitching overall there for Shields.
Josh Hamilton, the Angels cleanup batter, steps up for the first time in this game. Here's the pitch on Hamilton, and he chops it on the first base side. Hosmer goes to second for 1 out. No relay, so fielder's choice. Runners will be at the corners with 2 outs for Mark Trumbo. That play at second against Ibar goes 3-6. So here's Trumbo. Trumbo has driven in just 2 runs this spring. He's had 12 hits, but he's yet to get a ball out of the ballpark. Right-hander against right-hander as Mark Trumbo gets ready to advance into the batter's box. A hit ties up this game here in the bottom of the first inning. Shields is set. First one on Trumbo. It's a pitch. It's low. It gets away from Perez. Breaking for the plate and scoring without a return throw is Mike Trout. So the Angels get a gift run right there. And that was reminiscent of last night when the Angels played Texas. Trout scored a run from third base on a wild pitch. That was in the fourth inning last night.
I've seen a lot of this happen with some catchers here in spring training, not seeing the ball well. Late reaction, especially to pitches outside, fastballs outside.
Hamilton moving up to second as the Angels get that gift run here to tie up the game, and Trumbo fouls the next pitch back behind the plate. Another example, Jose, of Trout getting on base and scoring a run.
He's been a machine. That is now 16 runs he has scored in 17 games.
Shields ready, the 1-1 pitch. Ripped down the left field side. That's a fair ball. That's going to give the Angels the lead. Hamilton scores easily from second. Trumbo is digging for two. He better hurry. A close play. Safe with a sliding double. It's 2-1 Angels.
It's been coming. It's been a little bit slow at coming, but it's getting here. And that is Mark Trumbo striking the baseball with authority. Getting a little bit more extension with his arms, a quieter body, and that nice line going through to the eyesight of point of contact.
So here is hot-hitting Howie Kendrick, batting over 500 this spring. Here's the first one on Howie. First pitch fastball up and in. 1-0 the count.
Eagles offense the last couple of days really showing tremendous amount of battle. 5 home runs last night, 4 in 1 inning.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is fouled back behind the plate.
So Pujols, Hamilton, Kendrick, and Conger hit it in 1 inning, and then Ibar added another one.
One on Kendrick. A hit could mean another run. Trumbo, the 2-out runner at second. Pitch on Howie, and he taps that one foul by the plate. Angels in the last 13 games here in spring training play have scored 9 runs or more in just about half of those games. 6 of the last 13. A couple of runs already in the first inning today against James Shields. Here comes the pitch. A little low and outside. 2-2. Shields starting to see his pitch count mount. He's at 23 pitches here in the bottom of the first inning.
C.J. Wilson ended up throwing 32 pitches to 5 batters in the first inning. 11 to the leadoff batter.
Yeah.
Alex Gordon. Excellent at bat, even though he struck out.
Kendrick at the plate, 25 hits here in the Cactus League. 4 of them have been home runs.
And Kansas City is a team that we have seen the most exaggerated shift against Howie Kendrick here in spring training. Kane shaded way over to right center field and center.
The 2-2 on Kendrick. He slaps one on the left side at the shortstop. Escobar has it to throw. Just snips him, and the inning is over. Angels do come up with a couple of runs in the inning. Angels score 2, had 2 hits in the inning. Also a walk. Lyle pitch brings in a run, and the Angels end up leaving 1 runner on base. After 1 inning, 2-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans win a 2-night stay, 1 round of golf, and dinner for 2 at Fantasy Resort Casino in Palm Springs. Send a text with the message AM 830 Fantasy to 50352 to sign up. A contestant will be announced daily starting April the 1st. Full contest rules are available at am830.net. Keyword Fantasy. It's brought to you by the Fantasy Resort Casino in Palm Springs. First batter up is Eric Hosmer. The first pitch in there for a strike. Hosmer, Kane, and Francoeur for Kansas City. And Hosmer tried to hold up on that pitch and was fooled. Went around. It's quickly 0-2. Hosmer's had a good spring, hitting over 360 for the Royals. And here's the next pitch. He chops that one on a high hop at foul over on the first base side.
Well, he needs a good beginning and a good start to his season because it was absolutely terrible in the beginning last year. And he stuck in there. They moved him down on the lineup. There was even talk about sending him to the minor leagues at one point. This kid's very tough mentally.
Counts 0-2 on Hosmer, and he fouls that one back. Yeah, he was disappointed by his season last year for the Royals. And then in the offseason, he had a batting cage installed at his new house. Got in some extra swings at home during the offseason. Here's the pitch. He takes that one low and outside. 1-2 the count.
He had success early in his career when he came up. A lot of people didn't know him. It was the adjustment of that second season, or his first full season, that he had a hard time with. When his swing at times can get very long.
Next delivery, that's up and in. 2-2 the count. Now the infield, the Angels have Trumbo at first. Kendrick is playing second. Callaspo is the third baseman, and Ibar at short. Wells, Trout, and Hamilton, the outfielders. There's a pitch that Hosmer was fooled on. He tried to hold up on it, went around, struck him out, and that's out number 1. Already 3 strikeouts for C.J. Wilson against the first 6 batters.
It's the best thing he can do right now, because I think from the Alex Gordon at bat, I keep going back to that because he was timed so well by the lefty. At some point, you got to start finding the release point for that breaking ball and taking even more off of it like he did on that one.
Here's the pitch. Kane at the plate. He looks that one over. It's in there for a called strike.
The Royals have a new hitting coach now, Jack Maloof. And he is assisted by Andre David. They got to let go of Kevin Seitzer, former Royal, fine player himself.
One ball, 1 strike to count on Kane. He's been tearing it up this spring for Kansas City, and he takes that one low. That got those feet moving.
Doesn't he always? Did he have like 6 or 7 home runs last spring? I'm going to double check that. It's easy to get fooled here in the Cactus League with a thin air, but you got to really know yourself as a player into what's going to make you successful and carry on the long season.
Here's the pitch. He chops that one sharply, but right at Ibar. The Angels shortstop will throw him out. Kane an easy out. 2 are gone here in the second inning. Francoeur will be the batter. Well, Lorenzo Kane, they're just hoping that he stays healthy this year. He had a lot of leg issues last season. So here's Francoeur. He had a tough year for the Royals last season. This lineup for Kansas City, no one is even 30 years old. Francoeur and gets the closest. They're each 29. Gordon's also 29 years old. First pitch, a ball on Francoeur. The 1-0 pitch, and Francoeur checking on that one. Misses low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Francoeur hitting 8th. That tells you something. And not that he's been a tremendous threat offensively the last couple of seasons.
There's a pitch that he takes for a strike. He's in the final year of a 2-year deal with the Royals. He hit a career low 235 last year. The pitch, he lifts that one foul on the right side. That's going to get back and out of play.
Jeff Francoeur, Alex Gordon, when it comes down to playing the outfield, you better watch out. They will challenge you. They will throw you out.
Royals do indeed. They have some good arms in that outfield. Here's the 2-2, and that one is cut on and missed. Struck him out. Chased the pitch low and in. And Wilson, for the second straight inning, strikes out a pair. So here for Kansas City in the second. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left. Bottom of the second is coming up here in Tempe. The Angels have a 2-1 lead on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Alberto Callaspo leads it off for the Angels. Bottom of the second. Halos up 2-1 against Kansas City. And the first pitch in there from Shields. It'll be Callaspo, Wells, and Iannetta, the bottom third of the Angels batting order. Here's the next one on Alberto. And that pitch is low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Center fielder Kane playing shallow and shading Callaspo the opposite way as he fouls that one off over near the Angels dugout. Ball actually hopped into the dugout.
So Mike Scioscia announcing Eric Ibar to begin the season as his number 2 hitter. Callaspo is one of the guys also in the mix. You mentioned Peter Borges against certain lefties might be batting some second.
Here's a pitch that's waved at and missed. Good off-speed pitch from Shields, fools Callaspo. And he is out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. Strikeout number 2 for James Shields.
Both on changeups, one with Pujols on the check swing, and now this beautiful dropper here with a changeup on Callaspo.
So here's Wells. Vernon Wells has had a nice spring, hitting over 360. He's hit 4 home runs for the Angels this spring. And the first pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner. Breeze picking up. It's blowing from left to right. So it'll help some of the left-handed hitters who pull the ball. Right-handed batters who go the opposite way. 0-1. That's lined into right center field. That's going to drop in for a hit. Playing it in on a hop will be Francoeur. And Wells stays hot. 1-out single here in the Angels' second.
A couple of very interesting defensive shifts we've seen already today from Nick Yost. And the last one was on Vernon Wells. He had the left fielder Gordon pretty much on the line. Big gap in left center field. Vernon goes the other way. And now still right now to defend Chris Iannetta. Terry, look where Gordon is. You don't see the alignment very often.
Yep. Left fielder playing deep out there. Shading a bit toward the line.
It's a big gap in left center field.
Here's the pitch, and that one is swung on and missed by Iannetta.
Which is pretty much, in my estimation, just following the scouting report on how Shields pitches to the right-handers with a fastball in, and of course, with any ball hit off of a changeup, most likely will be pulled in that direction, not so much in the gap. So good job by Yost and his staff in taking that chance.
So pickoff toss to first, diving back to the bag goes Vernon Wells. James Shields.
You like that shift, Terry? What do you think? Take a chance? No? Yes?
Yeah, why not? If that's the way the spray charts indicate you should do it, might as well follow them.
Exactly.
Shields ready. 0-1 delivery. Iannetta taking that pitch and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals announced before the ball game today that Shields will be their opening day pitcher. So he will get that assignment. And they will be playing the White Sox in Chicago opening day. That'll be on April 1st for Kansas City. Here's the pitch. That one is chopped toward the shortstop. It skips under the glove of Escobar. Wells went sliding into second. He gets up and heads on to third as that ball rolled into shallow center. So the Angels have runners on at the corners. They're going to give Iannetta a hit on that one.
Well, there's a ball with you as a pitcher. Go, well, I did everything I needed to do in getting that ground ball. And Escobar didn't do the best of jobs in trying to center it. First of all, I think he was complacent right from the get-go. He seemed to be able to handle it with one hand and flip it to the second baseman.
So here is Mike Trout with a chance to widen the Angel lead. It's 2-1 right now here in the bottom of the second. Trout has already doubled and scored. Inning started off with a strikeout against Callaspo, but the next two, Wells and Iannetta, have had hits. Trout taking a little time before getting set in the box. Now he's in there. Shields is set. Here's the first one on Mike, and that's right in there for a called strike. Was mentioning the Royals, Jose. They will open up the season in Chicago against the White Sox. And then on their opening road trip, their next stop will be in Philadelphia to take on the Phillies.
Beautiful.
So they will have an interleague game in their second series of the year before heading back to Kansas City for their home opener.
There will be one every series this year in the big leagues.
Here's a pitch that misses, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Two runs, 4 hits for the Angels. A run, 2 hits for Kansas City. We're only in the bottom of the second. Shields delivers. Trout drills the ball into center field. Going back on that one is Kane, still back, and that ball is going to hit off the wall. The Angels will get one. They're going to get another as Iannetta is being waved home. He'll score. Trout has another double to center field. 2 more RBIs for him, and the Angels' lead grows to 4-1.
Well, Trout is so hard to pitch to. I mean, there's another fastball the Shields would like to get back, just like it happened in the first inning. And he might think changeup. Trout lays off of him. He knows he has to throw strikes. And Trout, of course, is thinking along the same lines. Be selective, but don't waste that fastball. The description, Terry, of short, compact, and strong right there with that swing.
Yeah. What a player, Mike Trout. And he, as well as he played last year and being the Rookie of the Year, he has just been fantastic here this spring. No let up in sight as far as what he can do on a baseball field.
What we're seeing, too, is the last few days, as you mentioned, the amount of runs the Angels have been scoring. But now the regular players getting more into a flow of the offensive side.
Yep, we're seeing here lately closer to the true everyday lineup for the Angels. Today, you look at the lineup and basically 8 of the 9 are regulars. Borges figures to be a regular, at least when the season begins. Although that's a little bit up in the air because the Angels will play an interleague series to start the season. Pitch on Ibar. He lifts it foul down the left field side. That one's going to head back to the seats and out of play.
And regardless of how good it looks on paper, obviously the season comes around and it's a different story. And every offense in baseball will go through dry spells. But the issue is when you have Trout, you have Ibar, you have Callaspo, and even a guy like Ayaneda in the bottom, there's an opportunity along with Borges that even when the big guys are in a slump or just scuffling, you have the chance to score some runs. And Mike Scioscia's style of offense.
Backing out of the box is Ibar. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on him. Lately, we've been seeing Trout play a lot of center field, and I think that's because in all likelihood, Jose, that's where he's going to start the season in that opening series in Cincinnati.
Well, he has to, obviously, with no DH. Pujols will have to play first base, no DH.
And we've been seeing Trumbo playing some more outfield of late. He's not playing outfield today, and Trumbo very well could be the Angels' opening day left fielder when the season begins April 1st at Cincinnati. Here's the pitch. Popped in the air into left center field. Kane is chasing over. He's under. He'll make the catch. No tag by Trout. He remains at second, and that's out number 2.
So what, as far out as Kane had to go get that ball, I mean, that's well played because he's also watching the wind. And that flag blowing across from left to right field tells you that ball's going to be coming back to you. And that's where Alex Gordon has become a superb outfielder, too. And knowing how far to go and knowing who's playing alongside him.
So here's Pujols. He was fooled his first time up, a strikeout victim against Shields. Angels up 4-1. They put a couple runs on the board in each of the first 2 innings here. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for a called strike. Fans, don't forget, on Thursday, April the 11th, the Angels take on the Oakland A's at the Big A. Game time 7:05. Fans in attendance receive a Mike Trout blanket. It's courtesy of Pechanga Resort and Casino. Those blankets given away while supplies last that evening. Pujols fouls one off over the Royals dugout on the third base side. Make sure if you'd like to purchase tickets for that game on April the 11th, you can do so by visiting the Angels Stadium ticket office or angels.com. 2 strikes the count on Pujols. He's deep in the hole. It's 0-2. Shields looking at second, delivers, and Albert fouls it back. Let's pause for station identification on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Terry Smith, Jose Mota, and our producer Darren Chan with you for Friday afternoon baseball here in the Cactus League. Angels up 4-1 here in the bottom of the second, and Albert on the 0-2 takes one a little inside, didn't miss by much. 1-2 the count.
I was just talking about the win, and Mike Scioscia told me the other day during the game, and we had a chance to talk to him, that they looked at the peak beyond the left field wall. He goes, we look at that flag more than we look at the one in center field, Terry. He says that's a true indicator of what the wind is doing here in Tempe Diablo.
There's a pitch that's low and in.
I think after 12, 13 years, Mike Scioscia has found the real issue with the wind is up there, beyond the buttes.
I think so.
So if you see the outfielders looking that way, they're not looking at anything else, all right? They're not getting distracted.
Checking those other flags. Yeah.
There's a beautiful sight here in Tempe.
Big crowd, sellout crowd on hand. We'll have over 9,000 today, the way it looks. There's one fouled off right into the Royals' third base dugout. So Albert staying alive, battling with 2 strikes here against Shields.
Yeah, the Angels should be getting closer to 95,000 fan mark here today.
Shields has a new baseball, the 2-2. Missed inside. He's been nibbling a little bit here in this inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Hamilton would be up next. We'll see how this matchup against Albert goes, and Albert, tired of waiting on Shields, backs out of the box. Everyone is ready now, and the 3-2 delivery, that one is low inside. So Shields locks his second today. Angels are going to send up their 7th batter in this inning, and we'll see how it plays out with Hamilton stepping up. He's reached on a fielder's choice so far in this ball game.
Good selective approach there by Albert Pujols. This is a pitch that in April and early May gave him a lot of trouble last year. And even this morning he was telling me about it. He was trying to prove that he could hit the inside fastball. Did not walk as much. You can see all that failure that happened. He broke a lot of bats there. You recall that? A lot of shifts were put against Pujols on the left side of the infield, all because he was swinging at pitches like that. And as he said, getting myself out more often than not.
Waiting at the mound, wrapping up pitcher and catcher, Shields and Perez. So now Hamilton awaiting the first pitch here. 2 on, 2 outs, 2 in, and Josh goes after the first pitch and lifts one high and deep into left center field. Kane is going back. It's out by the wall, and it hits off the wall. Ball starts rolling back towards the infield. Angels are going to get 2 more runs, and Hamilton is at third base with a triple. The Angels have a 6-1 lead. That ball just kept on carrying out there. Hamilton hit it a long way to the opposite field.
He's got some pop everywhere. You can see how nice and easy that swing is, and the ball just continued to carry. That's also across the wind. Yes, it's blowing left to right. And the offense continues to put up some big-time runs here, and today against a premier pitcher.
Nice seeing Albert score all the way from first base on that one. So at the plate now is Mark Trumbo, and he takes that pitch for a strike.
As you were saying, Terry, very important. Another test that Albert has to go through. And did a good job cutting through the bases, no slowing him down.
Trumbo is batter number 8 in the inning. Here's the 0-1, and that is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The way it's going, these regulars are going to get 4 at-bats here today.
And the way it's going, they might get 4 in the first 4 innings. Royals bullpen is quiet. Here's the pitch on Trumbo. That's low and away. So it's 2-1 on the Angels' first baseman. Trumbo's driven in a run in this game with a double. Angels have 6 runs and 6 hits already against Shields. Here's the next pitch. Lined into right field. That ball's hit well, and it's over the head of Francoeur. It's another run. Trumbo is going to make a turn and then have to hold at first base, as Francoeur did a good job getting the ball back to the infield. But another RBI hit for Trumbo. It's 7-1 Angels.
Now it's very clear right now that Jim Epper, the Angels hitting coach, has been talking to Trumbo about slowing everything down, and there it is. Slow everything down. Allow the ball to dictate what you're going to do with it, what type of swing you're going to take. And since batting practice about 4 days ago, he's been doing exactly that. That same swing, slicing the ball the other way. And Terry, overall, the plate coverage and the pitch selection during this whole inning has been pretty impressive.
Pitching coach Dave Island just went out to have a word with Shields. The Angels and the Royals matched up in surprise just a little less than 2 weeks ago, and that was a wild ball game. Kansas City won it 17-11. And already in this ball game, the Angels have scored 7 runs in less than 2 innings today. Trumbo drew a throw over to first base, got back in plenty of time. Here's Howie Kendrick, the 9th batter up here in this bottom of the 2nd. 5-run inning. Here's the pitch on Howie. In there for a called strike. Fans, don't forget, on Friday night, there are music concerts at the Big A. at the Music Garden, and they're back for another year of great performances. Every Friday night home game throughout the season, the Big A will host live pregame music from local bands in Gate 1, the Music Garden. For more information, go to angels.com/band. The pitch, it's bounced over the mound, out behind second, gets Fields, flips to the shortstop covering second, and they'll force out Trumbo, and the inning is over. So it ends on a 4-6 fielder's choice. Good inning for the Angels, though, a 5-run inning, and the Angels did it with a total of 5 hits, a walk in the inning, no errors, and 1 runner left. We've completed 2. We hit to the 3rd here in Tempe. 7-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, groups of 20 or more can now experience an Angels game in a whole new way. The new Trout Farm, it's presented by the Smile Generation, is the official cheering section for Angels outfielder Mike Trout. Groups sitting in this area will receive an exclusive Trout Farm shirt with their purchase. For more information and to purchase tickets, just visit angels.com/groups. So here is Chris Getz getting ready to bat. And the first pitch from C.J. Wilson was a ball to count, 1 ball, no strikes. 7-1 Angels as we get the 3rd going. Getz looks at that one, and he takes it for a strike. This guy, for whatever reason, has worn out the Angels the last few years. And he takes a pitch on the outside corner. It's now 1-2, and that's even despite all the injury issues that he has.
It doesn't matter if it's spring training, if it's April, if it's September, it doesn't matter.
There's a 1-2 pitch. He fights that one off and fouls it back over by his batter waiting on deck, Alex Gordon. Getz hit .275 last year. That was a career high, but he only played in 64 games. He had a thumb fracture. He also had a problem with his lower leg. He had a strain last year. He lines this one into left field, and there you see it, Jose. It drops in for a 2-strike hit. So Getz does it again.
That's nothing new. That is absolutely nothing new.
If you were to compile a list of Angel nemesis, and I'm talking about hitting-wise, he would be on the list. And he's not a guy that's obviously going to come to mind because he's not a superstar player, but he wears out the Angels. Here's Gordon getting ready to bat. And here's the pitch. That one is in there for a strike.
This will be an interesting at-bat here. See how C.J. will approach Alex Gordon after he struck him out, but it took him 11 pitches and leading off the game to get to that point.
C.J. working with a big, healthy lead right now, and the next pitch, that was a slow on a breaking ball. It's fouled off over on the right side.
It's a very good pitch, and that's one that Gordon has to prove to C.J. that he can stay on consistently. before challenging him with a fastballs. Because he has been on every fastball.
He's talking about that wild game the Angels had a little less than 2 weeks ago against the Royals. Kansas City won it 17-11. That game featured 33 hits between the two teams, and Getz had 3 of those hits against the Angels. Here's a bouncer hit to second, fumbled by Howie, and by the time he picks it up, no throw anywhere. I think Howie was thinking about trying to start a double play and maybe took his eye off that ball to see where the runner Getz was running to second base, and that'll be an error all the way on Kendrick.
Well, there are times when you start thinking 2 before you start thinking 1 or getting 1, and your feet get tangled up, and you can see where Howie Kendrick's legs were not positioned to do either.
So they have 2 on with no outs. Escobar is the batter. And here's the pitch. Grounded sharply third base side, out of the reach of Callaspo, through into left. They were going to initially wave Getz home, but he wasn't picking up the sign, so he ends up holding at third. And they have the bases loaded with no outs for Billy Butler.
Well, certainly both offenses are seeing the ball well. And cracking the door open, either via walk, is shielded in that second inning, or the error here by Howie. These offenses are really getting thirstier and readier as the season approaches.
So CJ has worked himself into some trouble here. No outs and a dangerous batter at the plate, Billy Butler. Runners everywhere. Butler, strikeout victim, his first time up. Here's the first pitch, and he goes after it and chops it on the third base side, but a foul ball. The Royals have been scoring a lot of runs this spring. That's one of the reasons why their record in the Cactus League has been so impressive. They're 18-6-1. They've had 17 in a game. That was against the Angels. 16 in a game against Arizona. They scored 13 in a game against the Giants. Here's the pitch, and Butler lifts one high in the air into center field. This will be deep enough to get the lead runner in. Making the catch is Trout. He'll fire to second. Also tagging and going to third will be Gordon. So on the sac fly by Butler, it's now 7-2 Angels, and that's the first out here in the third inning.
Now, spring training, Terry, gives us the opportunity to see a lot of the legends that have come through this Angels uniform and set the stage for the new stars. And always good to see Bobby Knopp. Bobby Knopp has been a presence. Now an infield instructor for the Angels. He was out of the organization for a few years, and very happy to be around these young players. And Mike Socha extremely happy to have him around every single day.
Yeah. He was quite a player in his playing days as well. There's a pitch on Moustakas, and he takes it for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Bobby Knopp, this will be his 25th season with the Angels, and his first since 1996.
Welcome back home, Bobby.
That's where he belongs.
Here's the 1-0. Moustakas taking that pitch, and that one misses ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Bobby Knopp played for the Angels 1964 to 1969. Here's the 2-0. Inside ball 3. So Wilson, you would have liked to have seen him come out and look a little better here in this third inning after the Angels put the 5 on the board in the second. Runners at the corners, 1 out. 3 balls, no strikes to count. Here's the next pitch, and that is a called strike. 3-1 the count.
Now, if you're Howie Kendrick, you want that baseball back. You want that ground ball opportunity again over at second base.
Here's the next pitch, and he got him to chase it, fouls it back.
And I'm sure Howie Kendrick has had many conversations this spring, Terry, with Bobby Kanai. One of the best of his position during his time.
The breeze picking up a little bit more, blowing left to right. 7-2 Angels. Only the third inning here from Tempe. The 3-2 pitch, and Moustakas checks the swing on that one. He was holding, so that's a walk, and that'll load up the bases. They'll reload them. Mike Butcher's going to go out and have a word now with C.J. Wilson, who just walked his first batter today. So that meeting goes on out at the mound. As it goes on, we want to remind you that the Angels will be back in action here at home tomorrow against Milwaukee. It'll be a split squad day for the Angels. Another Angel squad will be taking on the Cubs in Mesa. We'll have the Angels-Brewers game for you tomorrow, and that'll feature Garrett Richards against Marco Estrada. Joe Blanton's going to pitch in the game against the Cubs against Edwin Jackson. And then on Sunday, the Cactus League homestand continues for the Angels as the San Francisco Giants come to town. Saw today, Jose, where the Giants made a few roster moves as they released Ramon Ramirez and also Wilson Valdez earlier today.
Well, there's also plenty of teams looking for backup infield help. Wilson Valdez might find himself a chance with somebody else.
Here's the pitch, and that one is a strike on the outside corner. You missed it. The Angels earlier today released infielder Bill Hall. Wilson wheeling around, bluffing a toss to second base. So CJ slowing things down a little bit right now. This game is well over an hour old. We're only in the top of the third inning. And there's a pitch that misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Angels with opening day 10 days away in Cincinnati. The home opener 18 days away. That'll be on the 9th of April. Angels will host the Oakland A's for the home opener. 1-1 pitch. Waved at and missed by Perez. 1-2 the count.
It just feels like the season just ended. Like we're just watching the San Francisco Giants take care of the Detroit Tigers in the World Series. And the Angels were heading home again. No postseason.
The Angels certainly looking to snap that string. 1-2 delivery on Perez. He goes the opposite way into right field. That's going to fall in for a hit. It's going to drive in 1. It'll likely drive in 2. The throw from Hamilton to the plate is late. And Perez with a single plates a couple. And the Angel lead is now 7-4 as both Gordon and Escobar score on that 2-run single.
Well, this is what has allowed Salvador Perez to become a respectable hitter. That's why he hit over 300 last year. Staying behind and really trusting those hands. Sometimes a very short stride, sometimes no stride at all. Very good plate coverage and a solid approach against left-handers.
We were talking last night when the Angels played that night game against Texas that if there is a concern here this spring, there's a pitch in there for a strike. It has been the Angels pitching. And as I mentioned, CJ had a 7-1 lead coming into this third inning. They've already put 3 on the board against him in the inning, and he's struggling with 2 more runners on base. The next pitch, Hosmer drives one into deep center field. Going back is Trout. That ball is out of here to dead center field. Hosmer over the 420 mark has just hit a 3-run homer, and all of a sudden the lead has disappeared. 7-7 the score.
Royals have been a hot-hitting team, and a team that's played very well, winning 18 games here in the Cactus League for this reason, too. They came into this game hitting .329, a .382 on-base percentage collectively.
So it's a new ball game, 7-7 in the third, a 6-run inning for Kansas City. At the plate is Kane. He takes that one for a strike. Hosmer getting his second home run of the season for the Royals.
One play changed his whole inning. Potential double play ball to Howie Kendrick.
There's a pitch that evens up the count. 1-1 strike. The Angels have David Carpenter now warming up. Here's the next pitch, and that one is a foul tip. 1-2 the count on Kane.
I was talking about Kane earlier. Yeah, last spring he had .371 and hit 5 home runs. But when he took that long swing into the season, it didn't work.
There's a pitch that he takes for the ball. It's 2-2.
That's Hosmer. Hit .398 last spring, 5 home runs and 29 RBIs, Terry. 29 RBIs for Hosmer in 28 games.
There's a swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Kane. So Wilson gets his 5th strikeout. That's out number 2 in the inning.
So for Hosmer, with that long home run to center field, the .398, 5 homers, 29 RBIs. What happened in April? He hit .188 and hit .210 in May.
Yeah, he just dug himself in a hole last year. Here's the next pitch, and Francoeur belts one into dead center field, and that ball is gone. That was a blast to dead center field by Francoeur. Man, did he hit it. And now it's 8-7 Kansas City.
That ball went over the hitter's eye. So we can see Mark Trumbull, Pujols, Hamilton do on a consistent basis here in batting practice.
We have not seen many over the years leave, as you mentioned, over the high wall out there, the hitter's eye in dead center. That was some kind of a blast. So the batter now is Getz. Kansas City with the lead in this ball game. They've had a 7-run inning. And the pitch, that one misses. 1-1 strike. This game, just like the last time these two squared off against each other, nothing but offense. Here's one that's fouled off to the left, backing out of play.
And yes, there's concern about the Angels pitching. No doubt.
Here's the next one on Getz. He chops it over on the right side. It's just out of the reach of Howie. Another hit for Getz in this inning. He's been up twice with 2 singles in the inning. And the inning continues. The Royals will send their 11th batter to the plate. And now we see Mike Scioscia heading out to the mound. And that will be it for C.J. Wilson. So the Angels had a tough start last night. That was Jerome Williams, and C.J. roughed up here in less than 3 innings this afternoon. Angels will go to the bullpen, a break in the action. When we get back, it's 8-7 Kansas City. They're still batting here in the 3rd inning on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. David Carpenter is the new pitcher for the Angels, and he is wrapping up his warm-up tosses. C.J. Wilson today, a rough outing, Jose. And, boy, what's disappointing about it was the Angels had just scored 5 runs for him in the bottom of the second. 7-1 lead going to the third, and then the Royals knock out CJ, scoring 7 against him in the top of the inning.
Yeah, no doubt it was a rough one, not able to get his work in. And I think that's what would bother Mike Scioscia the most, is not being able to get all the pitches in that he needed to. And also, Mike Scioscia is big on another thing. How many times you get up and down and taking the mound and going back to that dugout. So we talked about Weaver getting up 7 times yesterday during the camp game here against the minor leaguers yesterday.
So here's Alex Gordon getting ready to bat. David Carpenter has done a good job this spring for the Angels. He is certainly fighting for a spot in the back of the Angel bullpen. This will be his 10th appearance this spring. He's worked 8 innings, giving up 7 hits, 3 earned runs. He has 9 strikeouts in those 8 innings. ERA is solid, 3.38. And the first pitch in there on the left-handed hitting Gordon. 0-1 to count.
Arbiter Fernando Cabrera. Cabrera recently came back from the World Baseball Classic, pitching with Puerto Rico. He should be back in action here very soon. Both in the mix.
Here's the next pitch, and that one misses low. So the numbers right now on Wilson, who started the game, and the runner at first is his property. He went 2 2/3. He gave up 8 hits, right now 7 runs. Not all earned. The majority of them are. We'll see how the rest of the inning plays out. He walked 1 today and struck out 5. He also gave up a pair of home runs, including that tape measure home run by Francoeur to dead center. 1-1 pitch. That's low. 2-1 to count. Carpenter trying to get the final out in what has been a very long top of the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch, and that one misses, not by much. 3-1 is the count.
David Carpenter has been very good here in spring for a simple reason. He's been able to take something on and off his fastball. He's been able to hit the spots, the corners, and what he's missing most of the time, he's been missing low with that natural movement he has.
Here's the 3-1. Runner goes. The ball is bounced out in front of the plate. Carpenter off the mound. Fields throws to first in time, and the inning is over on the comebacker. But what an inning it turned out to be for Kansas City. They get 7 runs in the inning, and they did it with 6 hits. Angels commit an error. There was a walk in the inning, and in the inning they leave 1 runner on base. Bottom of the 3rd is coming up. It's 8-7 Royals on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the third we go. It's 8-7 Kansas City. Cayaspo leads it off against Shields. And the first pitch, that one is low. You kind of wonder if James Shields ever thought if he would ever pitch with a lead in this ball game. And now he is, which is hard to believe. Here's the 1-0. Lined into right field, and that's going to drop in for a hit. Well, the Angels have been knocking Shields around. And Cayaspo gets his first hit of the game. The Angels have their 8th hit. The Angels had a 7-1 lead. Right now it's 8-7 Kansas City. And you just kind of figure, Jose, we have a lot more game to go and probably going to see a lot more runs scored before this one's over.
Also probably going to see a lot of young pitching coming in too.
Yep.
Cayaspo does it again. He feels and looks very comfortable with the bat from both sides of the plate.
So Vernon Wells batting. He singled and scored his first time up. He takes low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. After today, the Angels with just 5 more days remaining here in Arizona. Angels Cactus League schedule wraps up next Wednesday against Texas. And that'll be basically a 12 noon start on the getaway day for the Angels to get back to Southern California. 1-1 the count on Vernon Wells.
How about Alex Gordon and when he's playing Vernon Wells, Terry? Here we go again. There's a lot of room right there. Left center field, according to the scouting report.
There's a lot of room in right center, too, between Kane and Francoeur. There's a pitch that's low.
Right center field wide open.
Yep. Just shoots one up the middle. That ball has a chance to easily bounce on out to the wall. Shields has the sign behind on Wells. 2-1 pitch. And Vernon skies one foul on the left side. The third baseman Moustakas battling the sun. And Moustakas over there makes the catch. Tagging and moving up to second. And being thrown out on a double play will be Cayaspo. So when Wells hit it, you had to wonder if it was going to be caught in foul ground or if it even might get back to the seats. Moustakas turns it into a double play.
Got to play the wind right, and Moustakas did exactly that, battling the sun. And then Alberto Cayaspo wanted to take a chance. I have no issues against this play here. I mean, the Angels will do this. They'll take the extra base. At times it's going to work, at times it's not. And at this point of the game, why not take a chance? It took a perfect play and a perfect throw.
So here's Iannetta with 2 outs, no one on. First pitch on the Angels catcher. He grounds it right down to third. Moustakas has another chance to make it out, and he will throw him out. The inning is over. It ends on a 5-3 ground out. Angels end up going down 1-2-3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. 3 complete. The 4th is next. 8-7 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. David Carpenter wrapping up his warm-up tosses. Fourth inning we go here in Tempe. Fans, groups of 20 or more can enjoy Angels baseball for as low as $8 per seat. This year, take advantage of the exclusive group hat collection for select series. To book your group outing, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups.
Well, in order to get C.J. Wilson to finish off his work for the day after a rough outing, the Angels did send him to the bullpen. So C.J. will be on the right field wall, making sure those pitches are accumulated. It's not the way you want to finish off your day, but you got to get it done somehow.
Here's Escobar leading it off for the Royals. He tries to bunt the first pitch and fouls it back. 0-1 the count.
We recently saw that happen with Jared Weaver. Pitch against the Oakland A's over in Phoenix Municipal.
Escobar, the number 2 hitter for Kansas City, has had a pair of singles. He's also scored a pair of runs here in the early going. Next pitch, and that's on the outside part of the plate. Good looking pitch for called strike.
Sure, let's visit that Angels bullpen situation and the way it looks right now. Since Carpenter is in the mix, has pitched very well. Jerome Williams, slated to be your long man. He got hit very hard last night as a starter.
There's a pitch low and away. Well, you know you have Frieri in there, and he's going to be the closer when the season begins. You know Burnett and Downs are going to be in that bullpen for the Angels. A couple of lefties. You mentioned Jerome Williams. There's a pitch that misses.
We have a report on Kevin Jepson, who threw in the minor leagues today, right?
Right. And he went 1 inning in a minor league game, gave up 2 hits and an earned run, didn't walk or strike out anyone. So assuming Jepson is healthy, he will be in the Angel bullpen when the season begins. There's a pitch that's low and outside. So that's 5 names I gave you there, Jose. Burnett, Downs, Frieri, Jepson, and Williams. And then the Angels will likely have a couple more relievers as well.
This man on the mound has earned it up to this point.
Yeah, David Carpenter on a 3-2. That one is low. And Escobar gets a leadoff walk. He's on for the 3rd time in this ball game.
And the mystery man at this point is Fernando Cabrera,
right?
Who did not pitch well before heading off to the World Baseball Classic for the Angels. Cabrera had an ERA of 10.80 in 3 games. Only 3 1/3 innings, but he gave up 5 hits and 4 earned runs. But he was brilliant for Team Puerto Rico, and he's back in the mix.
Nick Morande is in the mix, although he's had a tough spring. Runner goes, pitches low, throw to second, skips off the glove of Howie. The ball goes into center field, and moving on to third base will be Escobar. That's going to be a stolen base and an error. So the Angels commit their 2nd error in the game. That one will go against Iannetta on the throw.
These Royals will run. Coming into this game with 22 stolen bases.
Angels have a couple of other pitchers kind of on the periphery still, Jose, for a spot on the pitching staff in the bullpen. Mitch Stetter, who we've seen lately after he came back from some injury issues this spring. There's one fouled off out of the reach of Trumbo down the right side. Brad Mills still in the mix, you would say, and he's also out of options, so you never know how that could factor into things, thinking.
One of the biggest factors is starting the season against the National League. So that plays into maybe an extra bullpen arm or 2, or another guy on the bench for that short series in Cincinnati.
Yeah, because you're apt to do more pinch hitting or double switching, and there's a liner in the left field off the bat of Billy Butler. That'll easily bring in Escobar. So the Royals get their 9th run in the ball game, and they have a 9-7 lead here in the 4th.
And beyond all the things we talked about, also the off day after the season begins. A lot of things to juggle still for Mike Socha, who's had some lengthy meetings in the mornings with the rest of the staff and making decisions like they made today in releasing Bill Hall.
Here's Moustakas at the plate. He takes that one low and outside. So again, things are a bit unsettled, especially pitching-wise right now for the Angels, with less than a week remaining of Cactus League games here in Arizona. Here's the pitch, and that's a called strike off speed delivery in there on Moustakas. There's always the possibility the Angels will check the waiver wire near the end of spring training, and who knows, possibility of a trade before the regular season begins, as Moustakas misses that pitch. It's 1-2.
Drew Deporter and the rest of the assistants constantly checking that waiver wire.
You already saw the Angels do it a few days ago, signing Chris Snyder. One-two delivery, low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Carpenter is yet to get an out here in this inning. A run is in, and the 2-2 delivery, that is low and outside, 3-2.
Talking about Chris Snyder, who has been throwing the ball very well. He caught Jared Weaver in the morning game yesterday against the minor leaguers and threw out 2 base runners attempting to steal. And Hank Conger threw the ball very well last night, too, in that night game.
There's one that's grounded foul. Yeah, talking to Mike Scioscia, he said absolutely he was impressed with the way that Hank threw the baseball.
It's the best we've seen him throw all spring.
But he also said that he wants to see him take that into the next game, and Conger has been catching in a AAA game today. We haven't had any reports other than the one inning of relief that Kevin Jepson had in that game. Here's the 3-2, and that is cut on a miss, struck him out. Carpenter battles back to get Moustakas, first out in the inning. And that's the first strikeout for Carpenter, who came in last inning to get the final out in relief of C.J. Wilson. Of the 8 runs C.J. gave up today, and just 2 2/3, 6 of those 8 runs end up being earned runs. So here is Salvador Perez. He drove in a pair his last time up. He's 1 for 2 today with a 2-run single. First pitch on Perez. That's low and outside. Perez is only 22 years old, yet he has been in the Royals organization for quite some time. He signed with them when he was 16 years old. The pitch, he bounces it by the mound and right over the second base bag into center field. He has his second hit today, and they have runners at first and second with 1 out.
Salvador Perez goes the other way. First at bat, or second at bat, goes through the box here in his third one. Outstanding follow through all the way around. And finishing off the swing, not cutting it. He had a tendency to cut his swing a lot when he first came up. And was a minor leaguer and made it to the big leagues. But boy, he was rushed through because he can really catch and throw. And now learning as a hitter and becoming better.
So the batter is Eric Hosmer, who hit a 3-run homer last inning. Royals put 7 on the board and chased Angels starter C.J. Wilson last inning. The pitch in there for a called strike.
Hosmer hit a ding shot, as Mike Scioscia called it, against the metal hitter's eye here at Tempe Diablo Stadium.
The 1 pitch, lined into right field. Hamilton comes in. He'll make the catch, and the runners hold. That'll be the second out. Lorenzo Cain will be the next batter.
The swing of Eric Hosmer will always bring back memories of Sean Green, Terry. Beautiful setup and follow through with that swing.
Yeah. Sean Green retired at a relatively young age, a lot sooner than many modern day players.
on known terms, and he was not playing at the level he was expected to play, and he said, that's enough.
Yep. Had some very good years in the big leagues, Sean Green. The pitch in there on Kane for a called strike. 0-1.
Sean Green also now involved with the Team Israel, the team that did not make it as a qualifier for the World Baseball Classic back in September.
Here's the pitch, and that one is cut on and missed. That was a wild swing by Kane, and he's in the hole. It's now 0-2. You're just tuning in or rejoining us. The Angels had a 7-1 lead after 2 innings. The Royals scored 7 in the 3rd, and they've added a run here in the 4th, and they are on top 9-7. 2 outs, 2 on. Next pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that'll end the inning. Carpenter gets a couple strikeouts in the inning. The Royals get 1 run. They had 2 hits, 1 error, 1 walk, and they leave a pair. Bottom of the 4th is coming up. It's 9-7 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Mike Trout will lead it off for the Angels here in the bottom of the 4th. It's 9-7 Kansas City. Trout's having a nice day, a pair of doubles. He scored 2. He's driven in 2. Right-hander against right-hander. Shields set. Here's his first pitch, and that is a called strike.
Also a very interesting note. 800 feet worth of hits. No home runs today for Mike Trout.
That's right. He's hit 2 blasts out to center field that have bounced and hit the wall. Of course, it's 420 to dead center here. So, yeah, he's had 800 feet of blasts out there and a couple of doubles to show for it. 0-2 is the count. Ibar and Pujols will follow. Shields faced only 3 batters last inning. He's had a couple of rough innings. There's another ball lined up the bat at Trout, but diving and making the catch on that one is the third baseman, Moustakas. That was a heck of a play. He went to his left away from the bag and nabbed that, smashed that liner for the first out.
Well, Mike Moustakas has become a very popular figure in Kansas City because of that style of play, man. Just all out all the time, blue collar, get dirty, and make some plays. Quality third baseman from Southern California.
They call him Moose in Kansas City. So the batter now is Ibar. Eric has a walk and a fly out today. And he drills the ball deep down the right field side, but it is a foul ball. Boy, that had home run distance down the right side, but just a long strike. 0-1 the count on the Angels shortstop. Here's the pitch, and that one is popped up down the left field side. That ball in foul territory is going to drop just in front of Gordon. He was chasing after it and just couldn't quite get to it. Nice to see Ibar back. Very popular with his teammates. He kind of gives you a little extra life out there on the field.
Yes, he does. Torrey Hunter said, if there's one guy that's going to get in your face, it's Eric Ibar, the clubhouse. Not afraid of pointing out some things, and also not afraid of pointing the finger at himself.
Yeah, Ibar is a gamer. He plays hard. Here's the 0-2. And he smacks that one fair over the first base bag. It's going to roll down the right side. Eric's going to get at least 2. He might be thinking 3. He is, as that ball rolled all the way down in the corner. And he will get an easy stand-up triple on it. Well, it's a long poke down that right side, 359. And that's where that ball eventually kept rolling all the way down in that right field corner before Francoeur could get to it. So the Angels have their second triple in the game. And now Pujols will be the batter with one away.
Ibar does a good job hitting a very good pitch down in the zone. Looks for the changeup, keeps his hands back, even though his body is a little bit full. It's all about those hand position.
Albert's had a walk. He scored a run. He's also struck out.
All right, Pete.
Here's the pitch. And the first one is a little bit low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 on Albert. He chops it foul over by the Royals dugout on the third base side. The Angels have had no trouble getting hits and scoring runs against Shields, but he is pitching with a 2-run lead. The Angels have already had 9 hits, 7 runs against Shields in his 3 1/3 innings in this game. One pitch, line foul. That had Ibar ducking for cover there on the third base side as he was off the bag.
He said, Albert, don't do that, please.
And now the two kind of exchanging signals with each other after that one.
He said in Espanol, por aquí no, not this way.
Yeah. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Pujols has gotten in some good swings here in this at-bat. We'll see if he can straighten something out. Shields is ready. The 1-2 pitch. And it's chopped on the third base side. Ibar breaking for the plate. He'll score. The throw to first by Moustakas will get Pujols. The 5-3 ground out will produce a run, and the Angels get to within 1. It's now 9-8 Kansas City.
We've got to get those RBIs whenever they are presented to you. And once again, the speed of Ibar, aggressiveness on the base pass, and situational hitting get the Angels back on the board. And as I was saying a couple of days ago, with guys like Albert Pujols, at bats like that one, there's a difference between 105 RBIs and getting up over the 120s. Hitting according to the defense.
There's a pitch that Hamilton takes, and that one is in there for a strike. Josh has a 2-run triple. He's also scored a couple of runs today. Next pitch, and he lifts that one high in the air into center field. Kane is going back. He's battling the sun out there. He'll make the catch on it, and that will end the inning. So the Angels settle for 1 run here in the bottom of the 4th. Do it with 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. 5th inning coming up. It's 9-8 Royals on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. As we get ready to head to the fifth inning, Angels have made a few changes. We'll catch you up on those in just a minute. But let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Terry Smith, Jose Mota, and our producer-engineer Darren Chad with you Friday afternoon baseball from Tempe. Fans, don't forget, win a two-night stay, one round of golf and dinner for two at the Fantasy Resort Casino in Palm Springs. Send a text with the message AM 830 Fantasy to 50352 to sign up. A contestant will be announced daily starting on the 1st of April. That's opening day for the Angels. Full contest rules are available at am830.net. Keyword fantasy. It's brought to you by the Fantasy Resort Casino in Palm Springs. Jeff Francoeur is the batter, and the new pitcher is Sean Burnett. First pitch was a ball. 1-0. That's fouled back to the screen. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The new center fielder is Peter Borges, so Mike Trout's day is over. And there's a new right fielder for the Angels. Replacing Josh Hamilton is J.B. Shuck. We'll give you David Carpenter's numbers in a moment. The pitch, it's grounded to the shortstop, fielded by Ibar. His throw is in time to get Francoeur, and that's the first out. The numbers on David Carpenter: he went an inning and a third for the Angels. He gave up 2 hits, a run it was earned. He ended up walking 1 and striking out 1. Burnett facing Geltz. Callaspo playing in at third against the left-handed hitting Chris Geltz, and the first pitch, a ball.
Sean Burnett needs a good outing here. Of course, because of the injury to his lower back, he has been set back a little bit. And he has suffered more than anything from the lack of fastball command up in the zone. He's got that landing towards that first base side, a little bit across his body.
He's behind 2-0 here on Geltz, and the next pitch, low, ball 3. Burnett pitching for the 4th time this spring. He's worked only an inning and 2/3, giving up 8 hits, 5 runs all earned, walking 1, striking out 2. ERA over 25 this spring. Here's the pitch, and that is a called strike. 3-1 on Chris Getz. Here's the 3-1, and that is a called strike on the outside corner. See what gives on the payoff. Here it comes. Fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again. It's still 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Burnett just struck out 57 batters in 56 and 2/3 innings last year.
Next delivery, a lazy fly ball hit into shallow left field. Coming over is Vernon Wells. He's there. He'll put it away. And that's the second out.
Sean came up to the big leagues with the Pittsburgh Pirates, always a starting pitcher. But he has not made a start in professional baseball dating back to 2007 in AAA Indianapolis. He's been a superb, very dependable reliever.
A lot of appearances the last 4 years in the big leagues for Burnett. He's had at least 69 appearances each of the last 4 years, and he's pitched in over 280 games over the last 4 years. Here's the next pitch. That one misses low. 1-1 to count.
It's a pretty good pitch, pretty good arm speed, and nice break on that slider. Effective against right-handers and left-handers, and will provide Mike Scioscia a nice 1-2 combo in complementing another lefty in Scott Downs out of that bullpen.
Here's the next pitch, and that one misses low.
Yeah, he wants that. And now he's questioning, where was that pitch?
2-1 on Gordon. He's been quiet today for the Royals. He's 0 for 3, although he has scored a run. He reached on an error. The next pitch, and this one is popped up. The catcher, Iannetta, foul ground, circling under. He'll make the grab, and that'll end the inning. Caught that one about halfway up the first baseline in foul territory. So Burnett has his best inning this spring. He sets him down easily here in the fifth. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left. Bottom of the fifth is coming up. 9-8 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. On Saturday, April the 13th, the Angels take on the Houston Astros. Game time 6:05 at the Big A. Fans in attendance receive a Mike Trout bobblehead. It's courtesy of State Farm. Those bobbleheads will be given away while supplies last that evening. To purchase tickets, visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or angels.com.
Mike Trout staying busy after coming out of the game and spending time with the fans as he always does.
So the first batter up is Mark Trumbo. Shields is still in there for Kansas City, even though he's had a rough day. In his first pitch, it's in there on Trumbo's. Had a pair of hits, an RBI double and an RBI single. 9 runs, 10 hits for the Royals, 8 runs, 9 hits for the Angels. Here's the next pitch, and Trumbo took a big cut and misses that one. 0-2.
James Shields is finding the way. You can see on his pitches where he needs to. I imagine he's on the same pace as C.J. Wilson was at this point, 85 to 90 pitches. And he's had to grind it through, but he's still out there battling.
Here's the 2-strike delivery. That's low. It gets away from the catcher Perez. No one on base. Kendrick and Callaspo to follow here as the Angels bat in the bottom of the fifth. One-two pitch on Trumbo. That's high. Fastball missed. 2-2.
James Shields, even before signing professionally out of high school, already had experience pitching in a big league ballpark. It was custom for high schools to compete at Dodger Stadium. Brilliant pitcher in high school at Hart's height.
And the next delivery on Trumbo, that one missed, so it's a full count, 3-2. Shields, a guy who likes to work deep in games. 14 complete games over the last 2 years. And a 3-2 delivery. That one just missed inside. So Trumbo waits out a leadoff walk. That was a good at bat right there for Mark Trumbo.
Another indication of Trumbo tracking the ball well and slowing everything down.
And it looks like Luis Jimenez is going to pinch run for Trumbo, so his day is done. Mark officially 2 for 2 today with 2 runs batted in. Here's Howie, who's been quiet so far, 0 for 2. First pitch on Kendrick. That's in there for a called strike. That breeze picking up, now blowing out to center field. Pickoff toss over to first base. Jimenez dives back to the bag safely. Shields has a kind of an unusual way of working from the stretch. The way he dips down, Jose. Kind of crouches, getting set before he delivers the pitch, working from the stretch. Here's the delivery, and that one is the pitch that Howie takes for a ball. 1-1 to count.
Does. Shields first here with the Royals. When you think Kansas City Royals pitching, you also think about our good friend Mark Gubiza, who is next to us here in the booth. And Mark still among the Royals leaders in many pitching categories. Games started, appearances, wins, losses, strikeouts, shutouts, innings pitched, you name it.
Runner goes. The ball's grounded fair, third base side. Only one chance for an out first, and the throw by Moustakas will get Kendrick. So moving up to second, the potential tying run, Jimenez. And Callaspo will be the next batter. Well, you mentioned Mark Gubiza, and of course, a member of the Kansas City Royals Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is. My former teammate, even for a short time. A couple of at-bats, but he was my teammate.
And my longtime childhood friend, Mark Gubiza.
Philly boys in town.
There you go.
Does a great job alongside Victor Rojas on the TV side during the regular season. And Mark will be part of the postgame today here on Fox Sports West.
There's a pitch that's in there for a called strike on Callaspo.
Talking about Victor, I'm so glad Victor was able to give you a little relief time there, Terry. Save your voice.
I greatly appreciated that.
Well done, Vic.
I felt bad for Victor the other day, though, Jose. When there was the little bit of a delay that he had to fill. Well, you know it better than me because you were in the booth together.
It was a Tommy Hanson game, right?
That's right.
And nobody was ready when Hanson got hurt.
Sean Burnett who came in, wasn't it?
Yep.
And he wasn't ready either. He had a rough go when he finally was set to make his relief appearance in that ballgame.
Well, Victor had a share of filling time, as he was even talking about this as a minor league broadcast race. You did too, and find a way to improvise and keep the listener tuned in.
Many times in those days, Jose, you didn't even have a sidekick or an analyst, so you would have to take care of that solo, and that's when kind of come up with some of the stories and some of the other things to just kind of fill some of that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shields a long look at second, and so long that Callaspo asks for time and backs out of the box. This ball game already over 2 hours old, and we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's been a long game. Of course, a lot of action. 17 runs, 19 hits already for the two teams. The pitch, that's going to be another hit. It's going to drop into left field. Jimenez is going to be waved home. Gordon has a good arm. Here's the throw. It's right on line and gunned down. Trying to score on that one is Jimenez.
Well, this is why Alex Gordon has been superb. 2-time Gold Glover, consecutive years Gold Glover. But it's not just catching the ball and making outstanding plays. It's throwing the ball. And what a throw from Alex Gordon again. Plenty of time for his catcher, Salvador Perez.
So that's out number 2. Callaspo will get a hit on it, a single. He ended up getting the second, and the Angels are going to pinch run for him. But the play at the plate that gets Jimenez will be 7-2. Left fielder to catcher.
Yeah, Gordon and Francoeur. Be careful.
Well, he needed a perfect throw to get him, and that's just what he delivered. So the batter now is Vernon Wells. Here's the pitch, and he takes that one low, ball one. Efren Navarro is the pinch runner for Callaspo. So he's at second. Callaspo leaves the game. He went 2 for 3 today. There's a pitch that is missed by Vernon. The Angels have Fernando Cabrera warming up, back from the World Baseball Classic, where he was seeing a lot of late inning relief action for Puerto Rico. Here's the pitch, chopped on the third base side. Moustakas dives to stop it from his knees, throws to first. The ball gets away. Now Navarro will be able to break in and score, and that'll tie up the ball game. So it's 9-9. Boy, Moustakas made a good play there to dive and stop that one, and actually didn't make that bad of a throw. But Hosmer couldn't handle the hop over there at first base.
It's one of those throws with it's so compromising. Sometimes you're thinking as a first baseman, I have to get the out. And of course, that's what your priority is, get the out at first base. But also, there's that throw that as it hits the ground more than one time, it's going to lose velocity and really throw you off as you're trying to scoop it off the ground. And that's what happened there. In your mind, you don't want to leave the base to block the throw because you're thinking, I got to get the out. But also there comes a time in which, depending on the score and where the game is, you got to block that throw.
So the batter now is Iannetta, and he takes that one for ball one. It'll go down as a single for Wells. A throwing error by Moustakas, enabling Navarro, the pinch runner, to score. And we're deadlocked at 9 in this wild game today, Angels and Royals. Here's the pitch on Iannetta. He fouls that one back behind the plate. Peter Borges is waiting on deck. And Peter bets whether it's this inning or next inning, it'll be his first time up. He's hitting out a Trout spot, and he replaced Mike in center field as well. One ball, one strike on Iannetta. Here's the pitch. That one is low. So the Angels have had 11 hits and 9 runs against James Shields today. And of the 9 runs, 8 of them earned runs. Shields ready. Vernon went breaking for second. Now he's caught in a rundown. They run him towards second base, and they will tag him out midway between first and second. Picked off to end the inning. Shields has an excellent pickoff move, and Vernon can attest to it right there as he's picked off first base. So in the inning, the Angels get 1 run. Kind of an odd inning. The Angels sent 4 to the plate. 2 had hits, 1 had a walk, but the inning is over. 2 hits, as I mentioned, the walk. There was an error in the inning, and in the inning, the Angels will not leave anyone on base. 5 complete. We're tied at 9 as we head to the 6th on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. As we get ready to move to the 6th inning, a lot of changes for the Angels. We have a new battery. The new pitcher is Fernando Cabrera. The new catcher is Chris Snyder. Efren Navarro, I should say, remains in the game. He is at first base. Luis Rodriguez comes in to take over at second for Howie Kendrick. Brendan Harris will replace Eric Ibar at short. And Luis Jimenez stays in the game. He was used as a pinch runner. He will take over for Callaspo at third base. So Cabrera pitching, Snyder catching, and Escobar batting for Kansas City as we get the 6th going. And the first pitch, it's fouled back behind the plate. 0-1 the count. Sean Burnett ended up pitching a clean 5th inning without any strikeouts. And now Cabrera, who hasn't pitched that much for the Angels because he was in the World Baseball Classic, he is on the mound. This is Cabrera's 4th appearance this spring for the Angels. His next delivery, and that one misses for a ball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
That pitch right there is Cabrera was very solid all throughout the World Baseball Classic, facing some tough competition overall for Team Puerto Rico. Down in the zone, pounding it, great velocity, good break, and very good location.
Here's the 1-1, and that one is waved at and missed by Escobar, so the count on him, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There was that break, and he's learned more and more not to throw everything at one speed. And one of the biggest influences he had with Team Puerto Rico was catcher Yadier Molina, along with his brother Jose, the former Angel.
Cabrera, big guy, he's 6'4", and he delivers that one low, smothered by Snyder, the catcher. 2-2 the count.
Sure, so one of those guys that, in trying to make the Angels, actually helped his cause by going to the World Baseball Classic.
By leaving the Angels,
yeah. I mean, he was pitching in games way more competitive than anything here in spring training.
He's not on the Angels' 40-man roster. He signed a minor league deal with the Angels. He was in the Mets organization last year, pitched in AAA. And he misses up and in for a ball 3. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes.
What the Angels are hoping to see is a Cabrera over the last 2 weeks, not the one that's been hampered by command issues pretty much throughout his career. Even though he's always had the velocity, he's always had the arm.
Lifetime ERA in the big leagues, 5.24. He's pitched for the Indians, Orioles, and Red Sox in the majors. And he misses low with that 3-2. He walks the leadoff batter to start things off here in the 6th inning. That's the 4th time that Escobar has been on base safely. In the first 3 times he's scored runs today. Billy Butler will be the next batter. Butler's driven in a pair today. Sac fly and an RBI single. 9-9. We're in the 6th inning here in Tempe. Yet to get the official attendance, but it's to be 9,000 plus a sellout here today.
Bats have been loud. The Angels were down 7-0 in the 2nd inning last night. Ended up losing in a walk-off in the 9th inning. After a great comeback.
Cabrera with a pickoff toss over to first base. Escobar is back. Escobar can run. He's already stolen a base today at 35 stolen bases last year for the Royals.
Very good instincts. Keeps getting better. Does a good job studying video of pitchers and tendencies.
Here's the pitch, and it's lined into right field. Another hit for Butler. Escobar is going to move on to third base and get there easily as Shuck gets the ball back toward second. But the first 2 are on for Kansas City as they are threatening to retake the lead. Walking a single to start this inning off.
That's the same old Billy Butler we've come to know. You know who's very happy to be on Billy Butler's team? Irvin Santana.
Well, Irvin has a chance to do some good things with the Royals. And you look at his numbers here in spring training for Kansas City. And Santana pitched okay. He's 0-1 with an ERA of 5.54. 15 strikeouts for him, though, in 13 innings.
He started off lights out, so he had one of those cuff-ups here recently.
Yep, rough outing recently for the Royals. Here's the pitch on Moustakas. He takes that one inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Moustakas has doubled in a run, walked, scored a run, and struck out. Cabrera is set. Here's his pitch. Drilled but foul down the right side.
Look out now. Some people running out there in right field.
Thought they're supposed to stop those foul balls down there.
Not them.
Well,
come on.
That's
There's a lot of pressure on those guys taking care of the field.
The ball man down there. You have some security down there as well. They just didn't want to get hit by that one, Jose. That was the bottom line. The 1-1. That's waved at and missed. Fooled on that one was Moustakas. Cabrera's always had a good slider, and he'll throw a fastball and changeup as well.
A very good off speed there after the foul ball pulled by Moustakas. And the sequence of changing the plane.
9-9 the score here in the 6th inning. Each team with the 11 hits. The 1-2 pitch. Moustakas fights that one off, fouls it off over by Perez, the batter waiting on deck.
It's back-to-back changeups. Good job by Chris Snyder, veteran catcher, now behind the plate for the Angels.
You look at the Royals lineup, talking about they're still a young team with young veterans. Escobar, the runner at third, he's 26. Billy Butler's 26. Moustakas is 24 years old. There's a pitch Moustakas takes for a ball. Perez, who's waiting on deck, he's 22. Hosmer's only 23. Kane, 26 years old.
So you consider they added Santana. They have Jeremy Guthrie coming back.
James Shields coming over.
That's pretty respectable top 3 right there.
Here's the pitch, and it's hit way up in the air on the first base side. Let's see who's going to take charge. Looks like Navarro, the first baseman, and across in the bag on the dirt, will put it away. That's the first out. So it's a big out with runners at the corners, unable to advance anyone on that one. And Perez will be the next batter.
Nice job by Cabrera, and it went back to not trying to overpower Moustakas, who was on his fastball, was not able to time his off speed, and then he finally got something well located with the last pitch. Fastball that Moustakas was not able to time right.
Billy Butler's going to be lifted for a pinch runner at first base, and Brian Fletcher is going to come in to pinch run for him. So here is Salvador Perez, and the first pitch in there for a called strike. Butler leaving for the Royals. He had a 2-for-3 day today with a pair of runs batted in. Jimenez just went over and had a word with Cabrera.
Be aware on the squeeze play here. You never know between Nate Yost and Mike Scioscia. It's an ongoing battle all the time.
Here's the pitch, and that one is low. Good block on it by Snyder.
You know what else? And I like that move by Jimenez, and it came from the dugout. Go out there and remind him, no first to third move anymore. And it happened to the Angels already one time here. Weaver got burned on.
Right. Yeah, you do it in this situation. It's a walk and a run. One ball, one strike is the count. And the next pitch lifted high in the air and hit deep into left field, but under waiting near the rim of the track, Vernon Wells. It's deep enough to get the runner in from third base Escobar. So on the sac fly off the bat of Perez, Kansas City back on top. 10-9.
Salvador Perez has shown me here today, but he's become a great back control type of hitter right now. I mean, he's out there with an idea, get something up that he could elevate, and just miss hitting a home run. Just the way he's handled the bat today, going the other way, going through the middle. After rolling over in his first at bat, it's pretty remarkable.
So that leadoff walk here in this inning proves to be costly. Escobar walking and scoring on the sac fly. 2 outs in the inning. Eric Hosmer, the batter. Cabrera is pitching for the Angels, working in his first inning. He is pitcher number 4 of the day. C.J. Wilson started but was hit hard, failing to survive 3 innings today. He gave up 8 runs, 6 earned, including a pair of home runs. And both of those home runs were hit the dead center where it's 420 here in Tempe. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Hosmer. Hosmer hit one of those homers, a 3-run shot. That was back in that 7-run 3rd inning for Kansas City. There's a pitch that misses, snap throw by Snyder to first. The runner hustles back to the bag. The pinch runner, Fletcher.
Mike Socha has had high praises for Chris Snyder for things like that. Throwing behind the runners. He calls him a soft receiver, moves well behind the plate. He's shown a pretty decent release to the bases. Throw about 22% of base runners last year. Career 27%.
Here's the next pitch. It's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. We'll have our Care First Health Plan Injury Report in just a moment. I want to remind you to visit carefirst.com to learn more about their Patients First philosophy of care. Care First, it's all about you. Cabrera's pitch, runner Fletcher goes. The pitch is strike, the throw to second. Just a little bit late. It was a good throw. Right on line to the shortstop covering Harris, but just a little bit late. A stolen base for Fletcher up from minor league camp for the Royals.
Fletcher actually had a little flinch to begin with. Not sure if Cabrera was going to go home, but as Cabrera was not paying that much attention to him, was set to go home. Little pitch, first base, could have been an out.
So it's 2-2 on Hosmer with 2 outs and the runner at second, and Cabrera wheels around, bluffs a toss to second. Mentioning our Care First injury report. Kevin Jepson, who's been sidelined lately by some right triceps tightness, did pitch an inning today in a minor league game for the Angels. And another player who had been sidelined this spring for the Angels was released before the ball game, and that was the veteran Bill Hall. The pitch, there's a bouncing ball hit up the middle, and that's going to skip through into center field. Fletcher will come in and score from second on the 2-out RBI hit by Hosmer. Kansas City now leads the game 11-9.
Good hitting all the way around continues for these Kansas City Royals, and Cabrera thought he made the pitch he needed. Not the best of swings, but certainly because he was protecting the outer half, Hosmer is able to put it in play and get it through the infield. It's now 4 RBIs for Hosmer here today. That gives him 13 for the spring.
Max Ramirez is going to pinch run for Hosmer, so his day is over. And the next batter is Kane, and he takes that one for a called strike.
I'll tell you something about Fernando Cabrera and the Cactus League. They just don't agree. Came in with a 10.80 ERA before heading to WBC, where he was very dominant.
Yeah, you got to wonder if he might be pressing here, trying to earn a spot on the Angels Major League roster for opening day.
One thing for sure is not going to help, and that's what's plagued him throughout his career, is that lead-off walk. Ends up scoring.
So Cabrera ready, the 1-1 on Kane. He cuts it down and misses it. So he's in the hole. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cabrera taking time between pitches. Facing a 6th batter here in what has turned out to be a 2-run inning right now for the Royals. They lead by 2, and there's a swing and a miss. He chased a high-winded Kane. He strikes out for the 3rd time today, and that'll end the inning. 2 runs, though, for Kansas City. They did it with 2 hits, 1 walk in the inning. No errors, and they leave 1 runner on base. Bottom of the 6th is coming up. It's 11-9 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Kids, don't forget the Junior Angels Kids Club presented by Farrell's Ice Cream Parlors and Restaurants is now accepting members for the 2013 season. Now, members receive an exclusive Mike Trout jersey, 2 ticket vouchers, a fast pass to Kids Run the Bases, and much, much more. To sign up, visit angels.com/Junior Angels or visit any Southern California Farrell's location. Royals have a new pitcher. Luke Hochevar takes over for James Shields. Hochevar was a starter the last few years for Kansas City, but he will begin this year in the bullpen. The numbers on Shields, he worked 5 innings, and the Angels had 11 hits off of him. 9 runs. Looks like 8 of those runs will be earned. 3 walks given up by Shields. And along the way, he struck out 2. So Hochevar ready to go. And the first batter he faces is Brendan Harris, who's batting for the first time. He's hitting out of Ionetta's number 9 spot. And the first pitch in there for a strike. Hochevar is ready. And here's the next pitch. That's in there for a called strike. Hochevar, fastball, sinker, slider, curve, and a split finger fastball that he'll throw. He's a former first-round pick of the Royals back in 2006. He was the first overall pick in that draft. And he misses low with that one. It's 1-2 on Harris.
Harris, a career 260 hitter in the big leagues, and comes into this game hitting 268 for the Angels. A couple of doubles, a couple of triples for the veteran, fighting for a spot on Mike Scioscia's bench.
The 1-2 on Brendan Harris, and he flinches on that one. That pitch, a called 3rd strike, struck him out looking. 1 away in the bottom of the 6th.
A little front door breaking ball. You don't see this pitch very often. It's not recommended by many. Others do like it because it does push that right-handed batter's hip out of the way.
Hochevar this spring, just over 11 innings now for Kansas City, giving up 11 hits, 6 earned runs, striking out 13 in those 11 and 1/3 innings of work. Here's Peter Burgess dropping down a bunt in front of the plate. Perez fields, and he rifles that throw to first base. That was a nice play by the catcher. Pretty good bunt by Peter, but he's nipped at the bag for the second out.
What happened is Salvador Perez didn't see the ball immediately, didn't jump out. But once he was around that ball, forget about it. He is a presence, and what an arm.
Luis Rodriguez will be the next batter. Rodriguez batting for the first time, hitting out an I-bar spot. Rodriguez is playing second base for the Angels. And the first pitch in there for strike one. Hochevar's 0-1. And he took something off that pitch, a breaking ball for a called strike.
Here's Rodriguez, veteran player. This is his 20th game already, so the Angels have given him a pretty deep look. Has done well. 333 average here in the Cactus League. A 351 on base percentage. Gives you a pretty good bat. Makes contact. Does not strike out a whole lot.
Rodriguez backs out of the box, tired of waiting. Well, you look at a lot of the guys, Jose, kind of in the mix for that utility infield spot for the Angels. And you could make a case for just about all of them. Certainly, Romine has done a good job. You mentioned Rodriguez, Harris. Tommy Field has done a good job for the Angels.
Romine with the inside edge. The big reason is, and rightfully so, he can play shortstop better than any of the rest of the candidates. And that's what you want in your primary backup infielder.
There's one that's fouled back behind the plate.
The toughest position to fill in any infield position is shortstop. When your regular player goes down, find somebody that can go out there and play. A week, 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. It's not that easy. Yankees might be going through that early in the season because Derek Jeter is not as healthy as they predicted he would be at this point.
No doubt. There's a late swing by Rodriguez. He fouls it off over by the Royals on deck circle where their coaching staff is seated.
And in fact, it has been announced that Jeter will only play in minor league games from here on in camp, which tells you they want more of a controlled environment.
Yeah, that's not a real good sign. 1-2 pitch. That one missed inside. The attendance today, sellout crowd, 9,682. 9682. And that is just 83 fans shy of the all-time single high attendance for a game here in Tempe, which was set back in March of 2002. The pitch, fly ball, it's hit to right field, but it's hanging up, circling under, and making the grab is Francoeur in right center. And the Angels go down 1-2-3 against Hochevar here in the bottom of the sixth. We're headed to the seventh inning. Kansas City leading the Angels 11-9 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Opening night at the Big A is right around the corner on Tuesday, April the 9th. The Angels host the Oakland A's. Game time will be 7:05 at the Big A, and fans in attendance receive a wall calendar. It's courtesy of Smart and Final. Don't forget those wall calendars will be given away while supplies last that evening. To purchase tickets, visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or angels.com. So the Angels have made a few changes as Matt Long will take over in right field for the Angels. J.B. Shuck, who is playing right, he has moved over to left field. So he is there to replace Vernon Wells. And Jeremy Berg is the new pitcher for the Angels, as the sidewinder is just about ready to go. Berg replaces Cabrera, who gave up a couple of hits and a couple of runs in his one inning of relief last inning. Cabrera walked the batter. He also struck out one in his one inning of relief. So seventh inning baseball. First pitch in there on Francoeur, and the next delivery that's outside and misses for a ball.
Jeremy Berg out of Ventura. Also attended Ventura High School. Last year pitching AA and AAA, Salt Lake and Arkansas for the Angels.
Next pitch from Berg, and that one misses for ball two. It's 2 balls and a strike. Berg is appearing in his 5th game, and numbers are pretty good. 2 1/3 innings. 3 hits, 1 run allowed. No walks. His ERA 3.86, and that one's in there for a strike. It's 2-2 on Francoeur.
Originally signed by the Angels as a non-drafted free agent back in 2009.
He's ready. Quick worker. Misses outside. It's a full count. 3-2. Berg is pitcher number 5 of the day. We've seen Wilson, Carpenter, Burnett, Cabrera, now Berg. Here's the payoff pitch, and that one just a little high and outside. Leadoff walk to Francoeur, who will be lifted for a pinch runner.
Those leadoff walks have happened twice in this game. Carpenter and Cabrera, and of course, they both have scored.
Pitch running for first base, number 8, Elliot Johnson. Now batting, number 17, Chris Gates.
Elliot Johnson is going to be the pinch runner. So Francoeur's day is over for the Royals. He was in right field for them today. And at the plate now is Getz. He takes ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Right-hander Berg is set. And a toss over to first, and Johnson dives back to the bag safely. It'll be interesting to see if the Royals' hot play here in spring training, and again, their record is very good, 18-6-1, and they're leading the Angels today. Here's when it's fouled off on the left side. If the good play that they've had here in spring training will translate into the regular season.
Well considered. These guys are a year older, a little more mature. Netios knows the core of his ball club a little bit better, and they've added some pitching, and they've always had a good bullpen. Got to get it down on the field.
Here's the pitch. Runner goes. The pitch is fouled back by. Gets back to the screen. The Royals have been a notoriously slow starting team in recent years. Last season they got off to a rough start. They had a 12-game losing streak last April. And again, they've just put themselves in the hole so often in recent seasons, trying to just battle back to get back to 500. Pitch on its way. It's popped up foul behind the plate. Snyder's going to run out of room. It's a few rows back and out of play.
And part of the story last year was it was the All-Star year in Kansas City. And it took the team a while to win their first home game.
Yeah, they lost their first 10 home games last year. 10 in a row at Kauffman Stadium to get the season underway. One ball, 2 strikes on Getz. He's gone 2 for 3 against the Angels. Bird bluffing that runner back to first base, the pinch runner Elliott Johnson. Ned Yost, who's in the final year of his contract as the Royals manager, he's a guy who certainly is on the hot seat when the season begins.
If his team plays well early, that'll be forgotten, but they need to get off to a good start.
There's a pitch out, nothing doing as Johnson wasn't moving at first base.
The Angels need to get off to a good start.
Oh, yeah.
We can't hide that.
Right, we've talked about that this spring as well. The Angels have been a very slow starting team as well here in recent years, getting off to rough Aprils and rough Mays, really.
And this division has changed tremendously.
Here's a ball. It's hit well into center field, going back on it and making a nice running over the shoulder catch is Peter Borges. Boy, he did a nice job tracking that one. Gets hit that ball hard to dead center, but Borges goes back to make the over-the-shoulder grab for out number 1.
That's what makes him a superb center fielder, the ability to read the ball off the bat and then adjust his steps, put the glove in the right spot, always knowing where he is situated on that field. Yeah, there's a reason why Mike Trout has to move over to left field when Borges is playing.
David Lowe is going to pinch hit for Alex Gordon.
And that's no disrespect to Mike Trout's abilities as a center fielder.
First pitch on Lowe, and he was taking its ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Lowe was with the Royals a little bit last year, got into 20 games with them, and hit .237. Left-handed batter. Runner goes, the pitch is a strike, the throw to second, and it's a little bit late. That's going to be a stolen base for Elliott Johnson.
Not much of a chance there for Chris Snyder. And that's 2 bags now stolen off of him. And the Royals continue to run. And in the rush, Snyder threw some type of slider down there to second base.
One ball, 1 strike is the count on the pinch hitter Lowe. Here's the next pitch from Berg, and it's popped up. Foul territory on the third base side. The wind is carrying that ball back into fair ground now, and it drops in between Jimenez, Harris, and Shuck, who is coming in from left field. Boy, Jimenez ran over into foul ground, and that wind, you can see the way those flags are blowing, and they're blowing hard from left to right. The wind carried that ball back into fair ground, and that'll end up being a bloop hit.
Well, the break the Angels get is that the runner, Johnson, does not advance. But again, take a look at the peak and find that flag, and it'll tell you everything you need to know as a fielder as the wind speed has picked up here in the last half inning.
So Johnson, who was at second when that ball was popped up by Lowe, he's still at second. They have 2 runners on with 1 out, and there's a pitch that's in there for a called strike on Irving Falou, who is batting here. He's batting for Escobar.
And second baseman for Team Puerto Rico himself.
Escobar had a very good day for Kansas City, on base safely 4 times and scored 4 runs. There's a bouncing ball hit to Navarro. He flips to Berg, who races to the bag in front of Falou, and that'll be the second out. So that ground out will go 3-1. Runners now at second and third. Brian Fletcher, who came in a pinch run for Billy Butler, now will bat for the first time in the ballgame. Berg trying to keep it a 2-run game. Royals are batting. They're leading the Angels 11-9 here in the 7th. Here's the pitch, and that's outside.
Well, what a frisbee that was. Wow. Slow slider.
1 ball, no strikes to count. Berg is set. Next pitch, and that one is fouled off into the Kansas City third base dugout. Fletcher has had only 1 at bat this spring, and he struck out in that at bat. Right-hander against right-hander. Here's the pitch. And that one from Berg misses inside.
As we look on deck, look who's on deck, Terry. The H-less Miguel Tejada. Trying to make this ball club.
Back from the WBC as well. Here's a check swing, and that ball is rolled foul on the left side. Tejada signed a minor league deal with the Royals. 6-time All-Star, AL MVP. You got to go back over a decade, 2002 season.
He knows Mike Scioscia's style in the game like very few in the big leagues. Playing against the Yankees for so many years with the Oakland A's.
Tejada's hitting .294 with the Royals this spring. Next pitch, it's popped in the air into shallow right field. Coming in hard, diving, and unable to come up with it is Long. And the Royals are going to get 2 runs on that one, as that ball was just a little bit in front of Long out there in right field trying to make a diving catch. It's a hit for Fletcher, his first one this spring for Kansas City, and their lead grows. It's 13-9.
Oh, letting up from the Royals, the starters and the guys that have come in to substitute them. Leadoff walk once again. 3 times today, 3 times they have scored.
So here's Tejada. The pitch. He fouls that one off on the right side, backing out of play.
Tejada has had to answer the question of why do you keep going? Why do you want to keep playing? You've already made all the money. You've had all the accolades, the All-Star, the MVP. One simple reason, he says, I love the game, and this is not about the money anymore.
He is now 38 years old. He'll be 39 in May, and he chops this one on the third base side. It's fielded there by Jimenez. The throw will easily get Miguel Tejada, and that will end the inning. It ends on a 5-3 ground out. But the Royals add on. They've scored a lot of runs in a lot of innings today. 2 more runs for them. They had 2 more hits, a walk in the inning, no errors, and they end up leaving 1 runner on base. 7th inning stretch time in Tempe. Angels trailing Kansas City 13-9 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. A lot of changes for Kansas City. We'll pick those up for you in just a moment as Albert Pujols will lead it off for the Angels. This will be his 4th at bat of the day. The new pitcher for the Royals is a little right-hander who throws hard, Kelvin Herrera. We saw him last season, and Herrera, a pitcher who will throw in triple digits.
This will be a good matchup right here against Albert.
Very interesting matchup right here, power against power. Herrera is ready, and the first pitch, that one is in there for a called strike. Herrera last season threw 162 pitches that were all clocked at least 100 miles per hour.
And then he does that to you. He drops a slider at 89. That's not fair. Average fastball last year, 98 miles an hour. Average for him.
And he has a good changeup too, Jose. So he has 3 pitches he'll feature out of their pen. There's a fastball. It's a low. 1-2 the count.
Kelvin Herrera was part of the mighty Dominican bullpen along with Pedro Strop, Fernando Rodney, Santiago Casilla. Marvelous job in the World Baseball Classic.
Brett Hayes is his battery mate. He's in to replace Perez behind the plate. And the pitch, it's lifted in the air into right field, circling back under and making the catch on that one. Out there in right field is Fletcher. And that'll be the first out. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network and on Fox Sports West. Terry Smith, Jose Mota, and Darren Chan, our producer-engineer, with you for a Friday afternoon baseball in Tempe. It's 13-9 Kansas City. At the plate is J.B. Shuck, and the first pitch, he takes that one for a ball. It's 1-0.
What was Shuck asking you about yesterday? The connection with Ohio State?
How I thought they would do in the NCAA basketball tournament.
I'm sure you gave him some hope, right?
Sure. Yeah, that thing's wide open, really.
Buckeye to the other, man.
Right. Ohio State won the Big Ten basketball tourney. So they certainly go into the NCAA tournament with some momentum, a little positive vibe. 1-1 strike is the count. And the next pitch, that's low and inside on Shuck, a left-handed batter. The other changes for Kansas City. At second base, they have Johnny Giovitella. Staying in the game and playing third is Miguel Tejada. And their new shortstop is Irving Falou. And they also have a new left fielder. That's David Lowe. He stays in the game, and he is playing in left field where Alex Gordon started the game. 3-1 pitch. That's called strike. It's now 3-2 on Shuck.
Looks like a very stylish Miguel Tejada with those chains on.
Jared Dyson is the new center fielder for Kansas City, and on the payoff pitch, that one misses ball 4, so Shuck has a 1-out walk. Talking about Shuck, who just got the walk, former Ohio State baseball player. The Buckeyes will be taking on Iona. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're a 15 seed. And that game is later on today. Runner goes. The pitch, it's smacked foul over on the left side. Nothing and 1 is the count. This is Luis Jimenez batting. This is his first time up. He's hitting out of Trumbo's spot. There goes the runner again, and it's ground ball hit to short. Only one chance for an out first. It's in time. So with Shuck on the move, the Angels avoid the double play right there. Jimenez retired on a 6-3 ground out. 2 gone here in the Angels' 7th inning. And Chris Snyder is going to bat. This will be his first time up for the Angels today.
Socha has been utilizing Jimenez a lot for hit and runs. Another test for a guy that if he's got a chance to make the team out of that bench, he wants to see what he's able to do with small ball.
Snyder has had limited at-bats since the Angels signed him. He's had just one at-bat. He was with the Washington Nationals earlier this spring, playing in the Grapefruit League in Florida. Here's the pitch on Chris Snyder, and he swings and misses that one for strike one. Herrera is pitcher number 3 of the day for Kansas City. Their starter, James Shields, gave up 9 runs, 8 earned in 5 innings. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. James Shields could still end up being the winning pitcher today. Herrera is set, gets the sign. 2 outs, runner at second. Angels down by 4 here in the 7th, and the pitch, that one is swung on and missed. He threw it by him. That was a good fastball, and the inning is over. No runs, hits, or errors, a walk, a runner left. 8th inning coming up in Tempe. It's 13-9 Royals on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. As we get ready to move to inning number 8, the Angels have brought in a young pitcher to see some action, and his name is Michael Morin. And this is his first appearance for the Angels. He's up from minor league camp. So he is a right-hander. And we'll see how he does here. He was in rookie ball at Orem last year, and he was a 13th round pick of the Angels in the June draft last June. He was used as a reliever. He had 4 saves, and he's a pitcher. Scouting report on Michael Morin, he has a very good changeup. So we'll see if he features that. That's probably his best pitch.
To make the story even more interesting, he is from the Kansas City area. He's born in Overland Park, Kansas, and lives in Leawood, Kansas. So that is 2 places where many of the Royals players still live. Not a far drive from Kansas City. And here he is against the Royals.
Probably was a Royals fan. Would only go to figure growing up. So he's set to go. And Brett Hayes will be the first batter that he faces. He's hitting out a Perez spot. He replaced him behind the plate as well. This is the first at bat for Brett Hayes today. And the pitch that's in there for a called strike. Hayes is in a battle for the backup catching spot for Kansas City. The pitch, he fouls that one off on the right side. It's backing out of play. No balls and 2 strikes, the count. Warren looking in for the sign. Brett Hayes was with the Florida Marlins last year, the Miami Marlins, I guess I should say. And here's the pitch. That's grounded on the first base side. That ball rolls fair. It's fielded by Navarro, and he applies the tag. Boy, that was a little squibber. It had a couple of funny bounces in it. It looked like it was initially going to stay foul, and then it kind of made a little left turn and cut back inside the foul line. Out number 1.
Good job by Navarro, and I think it helps a lot that he's feeling this ball on his glove side, as the ball was curving back into fair territory and eventually stays fair by a lot.
So here's Max Ramirez. He came in as a pinch runner. This is his first at bat, and he cuts at that one and misses it for a strike. Ramirez also a catcher trying to win that backup spot, as is George Gutierrez.
I saw George Gutierrez a lot at the end of last year with the Oakland Athletics.
Right. Here's the pitch, and he cuts at that one and misses it. So far, so good for Michael Morin, who has yet to even have a full season of professional baseball under his belt.
Hey, get him under his belt here right away. Get his feet wet with a big league team. It was a big day for him right here.
Here's the 2-strike pitch, grounded sharply down to third, right at Jimenez. He has it. His throw is dug out by Navarro, and that is the second out. Couple of ground ball outs, 2 up, 2 away here in the 8th.
Staff of the big leagues may not know you by name immediately, but you come up here and throw well and show your composure, battle through adversity. Before you know it, that phone keeps ringing down there in the minor league clubhouse. Hey, that guy that came out, that Morin guy, bring him up again. The example goes on for many players through the years that we have seen Mike Susha and the staff call back up. Before you know it, even though they're not on 40-man rosters, they get the call during the season.
2 outs. Here's Jared Dyson. This is his first at bat. And the first pitch, Dyson takes ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Gerard Dyson at the plate.
This young man can run.
Here's the 1-0, and that one is low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. We were talking about guys who kind of open up the eyes of the coaching staff. And today, you look at one of the pitchers listed on the Angels roster. We haven't seen him yet, but that's Ty Kelly, and he's saved a couple of games for the Angels, and we know how much trouble the Angels have had late in ball games protecting leads. So the fact that he's done a pretty good job in the times we've seen him, got him another call up today from minor league camp to at least be a possible reliever for the Angels in this game.
That's all you can ask for. Get yourself on the map by coming up here and performing well.
3-0 is the count on Dyson, and he takes that one for a called strike. Dyson was used as a pinch runner a lot last year for Kansas City. And he had 30 stolen bases last year. Here's the 3-1. He takes that one for a called strike, and now it's 3-2.
It'll be interesting to see, Terry, what the Angels do with Chad Cordero, who was originally not invited to Major League Camp. Got called to Big League Camp, and he has had a very tough time so far. At ERA for Cordero in 6 games of 23.14.
Yeah, very high.
And a guy that everybody's pulling for. Terrific story and nice comeback.
And there's a 3-2 pitch, a breaking ball that gets Dyson, struck him out. And the Kansas City native, Michael Morin, very impressive here with a clean 8th inning. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. We get ready to move to the bottom of the 8th. Angels down by 4. It's 13-9 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. in the bottom of the 8th inning. Angels trailing the Royals 13-9. Efren Navarro will be the first batter for the Angels, and there's a new pitcher for Kansas City, Greg Holland. He takes over for Herrera, who had a hitless, scoreless inning against the Angels last inning. So Holland, a right-hander, set to deliver, and the first pitch. That one is taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Holland ended up being the Royals' closer after they got rid of Jonathan Broxton last August when he was sent over to the Reds. Here's the pitch, and fooled on that one was Navarro. He misses it. He's in the hole, 0-2.
Very compact delivery, powerful trunks, man. He pushes off those legs and gets a lot of momentum going forward. Heavy fastball. That's what the hitters have described to me that he throws. Pretty good off-speed pitch.
Here's the next one, and it's chopped on a high hop on the first base side. A fair ball. It's fielded by Ramirez, and he will easily beat Navarro to the bag for the first out. One quick out. Matt Long is the batter. This is going to be his first at bat for the Angels. Look at the Royals, Jose, and they have some very good arms in their bullpen, and they have some shorter guys in that bullpen. They have Tim Collins. He's about 5'7". We just saw Herrera.
He can bring it.
Right. He's 5'10". Holland is about 5'10" as well. But they all throw hard. Here's the pitch. And that one is a pitch that misses. 1 ball, no strikes. The Royals had a very good bullpen last season, and that was even after they lost their closer for a number of years, Joaquim Soria. He's now with Texas and coming off of the elbow surgery. Royals bullpen set an AL record last year with 535 strikeouts.
It's many whiffs. It's also a lot of pitches.
Here's the 1-1.
Hey, this could be the year they can put it all together.
Well, we'll see. They haven't finished better than in 3rd place in their division since 1995. And they haven't been to the postseason in 27 years. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Angels have Ty Kelly. We were just talking about him last half inning. He's warming up in the bullpen, so he's probably going to come in and work the 9th inning. 3-1 is the count on Matt Long. Greg Holland pitched collegiately at Western Carolina University, where he was a walk-on. Here's the pitch, and that one is high and outside. Long is on. He has a 1-out walk.
Hey fans, now is the perfect time to reserve a suite rental for the upcoming season, and suites offer 12 to 36 guests the opportunity to enjoy the game in a private and luxurious atmosphere. Suite rentals also offer all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverages, and to reserve your suite today, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites.
So here's Brendan Harris. He's been up once with a strikeout today. Right-handed batter in the pitch. He goes after the first one and fouls it off on the right side. Backing out of play. Have bright sunshine here in Tempe, and you can see the moon up in the sky, Jose, as we look out toward right field. How about that?
A much cooler afternoon here today. Game time was 75 degrees. Yeah, the moon doesn't want to stay behind. Let's look a little spring training baseball here.
0-1 is the count on Brendan Harris. Shadows starting to creep in from behind home plate. Here's the next pitch. Harris fouls that one back to the screen, not too far away from Peter Borges, who's waiting on deck. This game was 7-1 in favor of the Angels after 2 innings. But then in the 3rd inning, the Royals scored 7 to take an 8-7 lead. Game was eventually tied at 9, and now it's 13-9. Kansas City. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Harris pops that one up. Foul. First base side. Playable for Ramirez, and he'll make the grab. So that's the second out. Here's Peter Borges, who tried to bunt his way on his first time up and was retired. Borges hitting out of Trout's leadoff spot. Trout had another good game. A couple doubles, a couple runs scored, a couple of RBIs. The only time he was retired, he went 2 for 3. He was robbed of a hit on a diving catch on a liner to third base. Moustakas made a nice play to rob Trout, or he might add another double. Here's the pitch. That's low. And now the runner's caught off the bag at first base, tries to hustle back and does get back. Long, lucky to get back there. The throw bounced in over to Ramirez, and he had to play it off his chest, the first baseman. So still on at first base is Matt Long with 2 outs. Angels' biggest crowd this spring here in Tempe, over 9,600 for this ball game, and we're going to have another big crowd tomorrow and Sunday as well. Here's the next pitch, low, 2-0 the count. Got a kick out of talking to some fans before the ball game, Jose, and you ask them, well, how long have you been here? And some people said, well, we've been here for about an hour and a half. We just drove in this morning.
That's a great thing.
Yep. Drive in from Southern California. Some fans obviously flying in as well, but a lot of people like that drive.
Just the joy in their eyes to see their Angel is just beautiful. And we see it every spring. See fans lining up behind the ballpark, and as some of their heroes make the trek down to the lower fields, they get to see a lot of the minor leaguers who are working out too and playing their games.
Right.
Excellent environment here in Tempe.
Here's a 3-0 on Borges, and it's low. He draws a 4-pitch walk. So Holland has walked a couple here in his first inning of relief. And he has had a walk in his game. That's one concern that they have about him as far as closing games. Last year in 67 innings, he walked 34 batters. That's a very high total for that number of innings, but he also struck out 91 in 67 innings. So here's Rodriguez, switch hitter batting left. 2 outs, 2 on, and the pitch. That's low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Holland is ready. And here's the next delivery. That one is in there for a called strike. It looks like C.J. Crone, who is one of the Angels' better prospects, is in the on-deck circle, and he would pinch hit here if the inning continues. Here's the pitch. And that one is in there for a called strike. So it's 1-2 on Rodriguez. Crone up from minor league camp. He has not appeared in an Angel game.
And as we were talking about young players, and fans looking forward to seeing somebody in an Angels uniform someday, C.J. Crone is one of those names. Good baseball family. His father, Chris Crone, former Major League player.
Here's the 1-2, and it's swung on and missed, and down on strikes goes Rodriguez. So that will end the inning. The Angels had a couple of base runners in the inning, but will leave runners at first and second. No runs, hits, or errors, 2 walks, 2 left. 9th inning is up next in Tempe, 13-9 Royals on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Angels have brought in right-hander Ty Kelly. He will pitch here in the 9th inning. Fans, don't forget you can win a 2-night stay, 1 round of golf, and dinner for 2 at Fantasy Resort Casino in Palm Springs. Send a text with the message AM 830 Fantasy to 50352 to sign up. A contestant will be announced daily starting on April the 1st. That's opening day for the Angels. Full contest rules are available at am830.net. Keyword fantasy. It's brought to you by the Fantasy Resort Casino in Palm Springs. So Ty Kelly is the new pitcher for the Angels. And as far as Kelly this spring, this appearance will be his 3rd, and he has saves in each of the first 2. He's not going to be able to get a save in this one, but he's done a good job. 2 innings, allowing 1 hit, no runs. He's walked 2, struck out 4. Elliott Johnson will be the first batter up for Kansas City. Elliott Johnson was with Tampa Bay, and he was part of the James Shields deal during the offseason. The Royals also got Wade Davis in that deal, and Davis has done a good job for Kansas City this spring. He's had a little bit of a problem with his right shoulder earlier in spring, some inflammation. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Johnson, who hit .242 last year with the Tampa Bay Rays. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that is a called strike on the inside corner. 1-2 the count. Michael Morin, who pitched last inning, had a clean top of the 8th with a strikeout. Here's the next pitch, and that one is waved at and missed, and down on strikes goes the first batter up, Elliott Johnson. There's 1 away.
Seriously waving it. Nice job there by the Angels finishing off with a breaking ball. Well located, good break. Nice finish.
So Kelly off to a good start, and again, in the limited time we've seen him, he's been impressive. A young pitcher. It's up for minor league camp again today. Here's Giovatello batting. Second baseman. He swings at the pitch and rips it to third. Boy, that was a nice stop by Jimenez. His throw to first, and the throw is in time to rob him of a hit. Boy, there was a lot of action there at first base as that throw was coming in. So was the runner, and of course Navarro had to watch the ball and the runner, and he did a very good job to hold on to that baseball. That's out number 2.
He's one of the best defensive players the Angels have on the field on any given day when he's out there. Navarro, smooth hands, great job of receiving the throw. You never see him stab at those low throws as he's supposed to not do. And also his footwork around the bag is A+.
So 2 are gone. Nifty play by the Angels corner infielders to get Giovatello. And here is Lowe batting for the second time. He's had a hit and he scored a run his first time up. First pitch was in there on the left-handed batter. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and that one is waved at and missed. It's 0-2. When we get to the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Pujols' spot. He's long gone, so we'll see who ends up batting for Albert. He was the DH. We saw C.J. Cron waiting on deck, so he's probably going to pinch hit for him. He was waiting on deck last inning. And then Shuck and Jimenez are scheduled, and there's a swing and a miss at an 0-2 pitch, and Ty Kelly does what he's done every time we've seen him in spring training. Strikes people out, retires batters, and the inning is over. A clean 9th inning for him. Pair of strikeouts, no runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th. It's 13-9 Royals on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher in the ballgame for Kansas City, left-hander Francisco Bueno, who did appear in 18 games for the Royals last year and did a good job. He's a native of Cuba. And C.J. Cron will be the pinch hitter for the Angels. So Cron getting his first at-bat for the Angels this spring. Right-handed batter. Cron, the Angels' first-round pick in the 2011 draft. He was the 17th player selected overall in that draft, and he had a big year last year at Class A Inland Empire. He hit .293, had 27 homers, 123 runs batted in. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Cron. Here's the next pitch, and he takes that one high. Cron was the Cal League Rookie of the Year last year. He's coming off of right shoulder surgery. He had a torn labrum near the end of last season and had that surgery during the offseason. The pitch, that one is a ball, and the count goes to 3-0 on C.J. Cron. Cron in 163 minor league games in his Angel career, 164 RBIs and 40 home runs. Here's the pitch, and he takes that one for a called strike. Cron figures to be in Double-A this year at Arkansas. Here's the 3-1 from Bueno, and it's fouled back to the screen, so the count runs full. 3-2 on C.J. Cron. His father, Chris, played briefly for the Angels. Bueno is ready, and here's the lefty's pitch, and he misses high and outside. Cron has a leadoff walk. Angels have had their share of walks in this game. That is the 7th one issued by Kansas City pitching. John Hester's going to bat, and he is batting for J.B. Shuck. Shuck was 0 for 0. He walked the only time he batted in this ballgame. So here's Hester. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Cron over there at first base. Angels have Rolando Gomez pinch running. He's up from minor league camp. One ball and no strikes to count. Bueno is ready. Pickoff toss, and diving back to the bag goes the base runner. We were talking a little bit earlier about so many of these Royals relievers, not really big guys, and the same can be said for Bueno. He's just 5'10", goes about 220 pounds. And there's a pitch on the outside corner. That's a called strike. 1-1 to count. Bueno was in the Atlanta Braves organization when he defected from Cuba, and he did pitch briefly, very briefly, for Atlanta back in the 2008 season. The pitch, that's outside. He's fallen behind here on Hester. 2 balls and 1 strike. Francisco Bueno. First name is spelled Francisley. Here's the next pitch. Chopped to the shortstop. This looks like 2. Flip to second. Relay to first. It is a double play. Taylor made right to the shortstop Falou, and the Royals turned it easily. So the Angels are down to their final out in this game. And the batter will be Luis Jimenez. Jose is headed downstairs for TV post-game duties. Mark Gubicza will visit with Angels manager Mike Scioscia after the game. We'll have that for you on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. That's right after the action. 2 outs here, bottom of the ninth, 13-9 Royals, and the pitch outside on Jimenez. 1 ball, no strikes. This has been a long ball game today, right around 3.5 hours here. Here's the next pitch, and Jimenez hits one high in the air into left field. Low is the left fielder. He's under waiting. He'll put it away, and the ball game is over. So it ends on that fly out to left field in the Angels' ninth. No runs, hits, or errors. A walk, but nobody left. Kansas City comes away with a victory today as they beat the Angels by the final score of 13-9. A game that saw the Angels jump on the Royals starter James Shields with 5 runs in the second inning to take a 7-1 lead, only to see Kansas City come back. Let's go down. Mark Gubicza is standing by with Angels manager Mike Scioscia.
So, Mike, what did you like and dislike what you saw out of C.J. Wilson today? First couple innings, he had good stuff, good breaking ball, but after that, kind of fell apart.
Well, after we missed the double play ball with Howie, seemed like he just couldn't make some pitches to contain some damage. And his stuff looks great. It looks great, Gooby. It's a little disappointing that he couldn't get a little deeper in the game. He needed to. He went down and threw a little bit more down the bullpen, but our starting pitching isn't quite where we'd like it to be at this point of the spring. We have a little more work in front of us. Hopefully these guys are going to get there in the next 10 days.
Is that a concern? Because you still have some time to be able to get the staff in order, but everyone goes through that period of dead arm period. You hear that from especially starting pitchers, but you feel there's still plenty of time to be able to get them right.
Well, it's always a concern. Your starting rotation is always a concern where they are. Right now, we have some guys that are pitching well, and some guys are a little bit behind and not making the pitches like they can. These guys have to start getting into their length. Sometimes that's tough in Arizona, but we haven't pitched well down here this spring, and hopefully now towards the last week of spring and then going over the Freeway Series, we'll start to make some better pitches.
Certainly offensively, you guys have been swinging the bat. Back-to-back games in which you scored a bunch of runs. Good approaches at the plate also.
Oh, I think offensively we're finding some chemistry. I think everything from the way the batter's box offense, how our lineup is going to be deeper, the situational hitting is looking much better, and the way we're running the bases have been terrific this spring. So on the offensive side, there's definitely some things that are positive. We're just putting a lot of attention into our pitching side, in particular our rotation, and just as much a concern as where our bullpen is. But you saw Sean Burnett throw a really good inning today. Scotty Downs threw a good inning. Ernie Ferrari's been good. Kevin Jepson throwing the other side. We haven't gotten a report yet, but we need to establish depth in that bullpen too.
Well, we talked about even before the game and settle in with Eric Ibar possibly in a number 2 spot. What do you feel with him being able to do certain things for you?
Well, I think he has a lot of things that he can bring to the 2-hole that'll be important to us. Anybody sandwiched in between Mike and Albert's going to have some good pitches to hit. The situational look that Eric brings is important. I think even having Howie in the 6th hole and protecting Mark and Josh is important, and Albert down near the bottom. We can certainly move one of those guys to the 2-hole if we stall. But I think Eric in a 2-hole is going to give us a good look.
I appreciate it, Mike. Good luck tomorrow. Let's get a W.
All right, Gooby. Thanks.
All right, man. Up to you now, Terry. Finish it off. Beautiful day. A lot of runs scored, but again, the offensive side was good. The pitching, not so good, but we'll figure this one out for you.
All right, thanks. Mark Gubicza joining us down on the field with Angels manager Mike Scioscia. Again, the final score today from Tempe Diablo Stadium, Kansas City over the Angels 13-9. For those of you watching on the TV side, Mark and Jose will have more post-game analysis, and on the radio side, we'll have more for you from Tempe as well. Again, 13-9, Royals over the Angels. This is the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West.
Introduce